And we are live.
Okay. Hey guys, good evening. How are you all doing? Welcome back to our channel, Olympics on My Mind. As many of you would have read, this is the stream specifically that would focus on the upcoming selection trials in shooting. Now, why? Obviously, you might think that it's just Olympic selection trials. What the big fuss is about it? But we decided that we have to have a proper streaming live stream on these Olympic trials for various reasons. One, it's a totally new format, like I mentioned in earlier in my tweet as well. It's a totally new format that our federation is trying for the first time, so that adds on to the excitement. Secondly, the level at which our shooters are have presently reached. I think the intensity of competition is huge right now, and nobody knows in each of the categories that we are going to discuss individually, who are the two shooters who are going to make it to the Olympics. So that makes it very very exciting. We'll touch upon quickly how the overall selection trial looks like, and then we'll deep dive into each of the shooters that are going to participate and what it looks like for them in Paris and in selection trials, and even if they get selected, what are basically their chances in Paris. So we'll discuss all of those. What's
Yeah,
up, Kapil? How are you
yeah,
doing?
doing well. Excited for the stream. Also completely immersed in chess. मेरा पूरा
Mhm.
I think for after a while मेरा sleep cycle थोड़ा regular है. The only problem is it's regular on Canadian time rather than on Indian time. तो आज सुबह जो टिकट खरीदी थी उसके बाद तब मेरी रात हुई थी, तब मैं सोया था. मैं उठा अभी 9 बजे हूँ या आज 8:30 बजे हूँ, तो अभी मेरा रात भर चलेगा चेस आफ्टर द
सही है,
स्ट्रीम ऑफ.
बढ़िया. Just can't let go any opportunity to mention chess, right?
यार कैंडिडेट्स इतना एक्साइटिंग चल रहा है. आई हैड टू मेंशन एटलीस्ट इन द बिगिनिंग. यू आस्क्ड हाउ आई एम डूइंग, सो आई हैड टू से.
Chalo, good,
चल
good.
चलो, तो शूटिंग ट्रायल्स का एनीवेज इंट्रो तो वैभव ने दे दिया है. आई विल जस्ट से कि ओके, सो द रीजन ऑफ द शूटिंग ट्रायल्स इज everything. So whoever goes now to the Olympics from India will be decided solely by the trials. So just to give an overview of the trials, I'll just give an overview, which is we are gonna now have 4 trials in. And by the way, this stream is restricted only to rifle pistol. We are not talking
Yeah.
shotgun here. Shotgun is a completely different process. उसके trials भी हो गए हैं, उसके quota event भी obviously बचा है. So that we'll maybe talk in just the general April end. Maybe we'll do a stream of all sports, I guess. So we'll talk in that only. I don't think
Yeah.
it needs
And
a dedicated thing.
obviously, maybe even before Olympics, we might have a dedicated team for each sport, so it eventually gets covered there as well.
Huh,
So
so
yeah, any which ways, we'll obviously talk about shotgun, but later on.
but today it's only rifle pistol. So rifle pistol may, as most of you know, there are 8 events, and in all these 8 events, we will be having 4 different trials. Okay, so the first trial starts in a couple of days. 19th को I think पहला है. First and second trial will happen in April in Delhi, and then you have the third and the fourth trial in Bhopal, which I think starts somewhere like 10th May or something, maybe a little earlier, but in the first half of May, basically. And the who will go to Olympics will be decided solely by these trials. Okay,
Mm.
so anything you have done in the past, whatever medals you have won, whatever performances you have, nothing
Doesn't
matters.
matter.
The only thing that matters is, okay, you need to qualify for these trials, and we'll show you. We have 5 shooters in every trial, so we'll go through that. But yeah, as long as you have made these trials, what will happen is चार trial है. चार trial में से your best 3 scores will be considered, and it will be the average of the best 3 scores. Somebody is saying increase your volume more. किसका? I think it's okay. But
Yeah, guys, can you please let us know, for this is for others, if there is a volume problem from my side or Kapil's side?
hmm.
Please let us know. Meanwhile, you continue,
अच्छा,
Kapil.
ये उल्टा हो गया, इसको सीधा कर देते हैं, I guess. Yeah, I guess this will be maybe a little better. हाँ, so there will be 4 trials. 4 में से your best 3 scores will be considered, and out of those 3 का average. So it's basically just 3 scores का average, and we are mainly talking qualification scores here. Finals will be contested. There are some points for them very low, like 0.6, 0.3, इस type के points है. They essentially act as a tie break. Otherwise, it's qualification which will determine who is going. And quota का हल्का सा bonus है. You get like one bonus point for quota in the 10-meter events. So वो average के बाद becomes 0.33, and 50 meter and 25 meter में you get two bonus points, which average के बाद will become 0.66. So again, it's primarily just a tie break. If it's like two shooters after three trials, unka total is like only 1 or 2 point aspas, then it comes into the picture. But it's primarily just go for the trials. You have to shoot the best, and the best shooters in these trials will be going through.
Yeah, yeah.
You want to add anything,
Just
Vaibhav?
to just to add a small bit here. So the format of these trials would be that qualification will happen on one day. This will be followed by finals, which will happen on the next day. And the reason for that is Paris Olympics has adopted this particular format wherein qualification and finals are on two consecutive days. Earlier, it used to be that there are two series of. Normally, what happens in World Cups or continental, events, or even previous Olympics, you have a qualification. After that, 30 minutes or 1 hour after that, you simply have the finals, right, which is the medal round. But this time around, qualification is on one day, final is on the next day, and that is how the trials are also going to be conducted. It is for all of us to see if those things matter to any of the individual shooters. Uh, I mean, yeah, it's a entirely new format that they are going to be shooting. Yeah, that's also exciting.
Yeah. And ठीक है. So कौन से event पे पहले जाना है? I was thinking maybe from 10-meter rifle women.
Yeah, absolutely. We have to start with them. That's the best event from a lot of angles, right? It's one of the most exciting. So yeah, let's
ठीक
start with that.
ठीक है. हल्की सी मैंने अपनी वॉल्यूम इंक्रीज की थी. If anybody has a problem, just let me know. Very minutely I'd increased, but okay. Yeah, this is 10-meter rifle women only. Okay, चलो तो
Okay.
कहाँ से start करना है? So by the way, as you can see, the top events are the domestic events, which is the most recent domestic events. You had the four trials, which is general trials which NRI keeps conducting for selection of teams in World Cups and all other qualifiers and everything. And NG is your national games, and NSC is your national championship, which happened I think in somewhere in December, and national games a little before that. And
Kapil, I'm just going on mute for a moment.
हाँ ठीक है. And उसके नीचे the international table, which is
Hello?
basically all the major events. You have your
Hello?
World Cups. Web of the mute नहीं है.
Okay, cool. ठीक है. Anyways, we
हाँ.
got disconnected. पता नहीं.
So उसके नीचे international events where you basically have your World Championship, your World Cup, your Asian Games, your Asian Championships, right from the 2022 World Championship, which was the first qualifier for the Olympics. तो ये हम लोग ने बस डाला है. As you can see, all scores are there, qualification scores, and then medals we have put in colors and
Yeah.
fourth. So
See, and
Vaibhav,
the idea here is obviously, going by the previous trend, a lot of how the shooters are going to perform comes from their recent form. That any which ways gets captured here from the latest trials, from the latest World Cups they've entered, as well as the Asian Championship from 2024. We have also factored in some of the older events such as World Championship 22 as well as some earlier World Cups from 2023. So as to see what kind of ceiling each of these shooters have, or what kind of achievements, what kind of capability basically each of those have in terms of their experience.
yeah, and
So
also
all of
also
this
their
just
trend.
adds on to the perspective.
Also just a trajectory to as to they were maybe doing earlier better, now
Yeah.
gone down or gone up, just as it. So you want
Yeah.
to start? Yeah, I'll start.
Yeah, absolutely. I would love to start. See, this is one event, Kapil, where it is extremely difficult for you or me or anyone else to pick up who
Hmm.
essentially is going to make it, to Paris.
Hmm.
One thing is pretty clear. Maybe I'll talk about from this perspective that personally, whom I would be, most comfortable seeing that particular shooter in Paris. ठीक है? I'll
Okay,
talk from that perspective.
ठीक है.
To make life easier, firstly, I would say maybe I'll go with the elimination. I think it's pretty easier for me to say, given the record that is in front of us. Even though Tilotoma, got us the quota,
Hmm.
but and she does have at just 16 years old, she's got great potential, but the kind of inconsistency and the up and down curve she has shown, and especially her recent form, you'll see, national games, championship, even the last two trials that she participated in, she's just not there. And more than 630 plus, she majority of her scores are below 630. So I would be literally fretting, in case she makes it to the Olympics, because I don't know, given her inexperience, given that she's been on the tour for just 1 year and she's just 16, I would be a little wary and concerned if Tilatoma, makes it,
Yeah, ठीक है. I
right?
mean, recent performances पे I mean, there's no doubt. If you look at the domestic performances, they're all like 625, 627, 628s over there. And
Yeah.
international में ठीक है, Spain में you had 630.9, which is like okay, but
Mm.
nothing great. I guess the
Yeah.
last great performance was like Asian Championship 24, which was 632.8, but even that is in an
Which is where
MQS.
she got the quota, right?
नहीं, she got the quota in Asian Championship 23, जहाँ पे
23.
सिल्वर आया.
Okay.
24 में
Silver
I think
eye.
she was in MQS. I'm not 100% sure कि whether she played the final or she was in MQS. But नहीं,
Yeah, but
टिलोटमा
then
के
if
ऊपर. हाँ नहीं, but हाँ okay, yeah, so she might, in fact she was in MQS. We have three others who have got gold, silver and fourth, right? So Tilotama
yeah,
was in MQS.
that adds on to a bit of context that maybe MQS, the pressure is not too much and you're,
Yeah.
you're playing with a free mind. So
Hmm. The only thing I'll say is what you were saying, na, कि it's like you were worried कि what if she makes it.
hmm.
We have to keep in context कि if she makes it, then it means कि next four trials she's done very well. तो वो
Yeah,
हमेशा याद रखो.
yeah, that is obviously in context, but still, I mean, because she
हाँ,
has that
as of now.
tendency to score 626 and 627,
Hmm.
that still would, worry me a bit that, because how it has been for our shooters previously, Olympics में थोड़ा सा conditions are different, pressure is different, so
Hmm.
you never know.
Yeah, and I agree कि वो pressure who will be able to handle it's very tough to say. And by the way, it's also reflecting in the fact कि if you look at the domestic table, national rank मैंने 8th highlight कर रखा है टिलोटमा का कि she's like the only one of top 5 playing these trials because she had the quota. So the quota holders get a direct pass to the trials.
And see that in itself, is a factor again that she wouldn't have made it to the trials if it wasn't for her quota.
That मतलब yeah, based on the results yes, but then फिर उसमें वो दूसरा फैक्टर्स भी आते हैं, राइट? कि जो अपन ने लास्ट टाइम डिस्कस किया था कि she knows she's already in, so maybe she's trying new things and all. Trial
Yeah.
3, trial 3, trial 4 she did not compete because she knew she was already in, so ये सब फैक्टर्स आ जाते हैं उसमें. But yeah, in general based on the results you are right on that. And yeah,
Yeah.
so Tilotama definitely stands out performance wise a little bit. And international, maybe actually there is not that much, to write home about. If you see her medals or something, she has like once bronze in 23 and one Asian silver. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि बहुत कुछ extraordinary performance कभी किया है. Beyond Tilotama, the one thing I really caught my eye in this was Nancy. Nancy के अगर
Mhm.
तुम latest scores देखो मतलब crazy है. If you see the T1 T2 scores, 634, 634.9. उसके
Yeah.
पहले there are a couple of 632s. There is this one Spain World Cup where she had a 629.5. But उसके अलावा
Yeah.
everything
Which
633,
again we are
632.
now considering it's a pretty average score, but 2 years back it would have been a very decent score.
Yeah, yes, but ठीक है आज की डेट में now it's got to the point where even 630 feels low, right? You feel like you
Yeah.
need at least 631 plus and likely maybe 632 plus to get into the finals.
Yeah.
So eight
See, for
Spain.
Nancy, I think she's the one who's got the highest ceiling. It's pretty evident.
Hmm.
She's touched 633 plus so many times. One, two, three, 5 times I can count.
Yeah, and
So yeah,
even by the way, even in the final, she's doing well. So that is another thing, Joe. I think I value more than Webber does. Okay, what is the finals performance? Because finals are not going to be considered really in the trials. वो point 1, point 2 bonus points है वो कोई काम नहीं आते. But so final performance भी if you look at Nancy के जैसे डोमेस्टिक में शी इज ऑलवेज हैड ब्रॉन्ज सिल्वर, एशियन चैंपियनशिप में शी हैड अ गोल्ड, इजिप्ट में ठीक है फोर्थ आई फाइन, बट शी इज हैड सम परफॉर्मेंसेस फाइनल एज वेल टू शो. One thing which she maybe doesn't have is a international medal, मतलब at least world medal. She has an Asian gold, which but उसके
Still,
अलावा
she's got enough exposure internationally, and she's got a couple of decent finishes as well. Not couple of, in fact, more than, if you count in the fourth position in final.
हम्म,
So she's still got, I don't know, like
एक
she's
है.
participated in 5 6 world events, and she's got medal in half of them, which is great, right?
नहीं नहीं हाफ नहीं है ना. इट्स लाइक व्हाट आई कैन सी योर एशियन चैंपियनशिप गोल्ड है, एक बाकू वर्ल्ड कप का सिल्वर है, एंड देन इजिप्ट वर्ल्ड कप वाज फोर्थ, मतलब उतना ही दिख रहा है.
मतलब मैं फोर्थ भी काउंट कर रहा हूँ ना.
हाँ तो फोर्थ
तो
के भी. अच्छा वैसे तो बोल रहा है कि ओके टोटल 7 इवेंट, 7 में से अगर फोर्थ काउंट करके 3 हो गए तो ठीक है, इट्स फाइन. उसके अलावा
या
एक दो एमक्यूएस भी थे, जैसे वो भोपाल वर्ल्ड कप का 634.7 इज एन एमक्यूएस, सो नॉट एलिजिबल फॉर अ मेडल देयर, सो दैट वे
हाँ,
आल्सो
and
इट वर्क्स.
also wouldn't count Egypt 23 World Cup because she had just come in the picture. So थोड़ा सा वो time भी लगता है to gain the momentum.
Yeah, but currently definitely it's she is the let's say informed shooter, and yeah. By the way,
In
Sandeep Chhetri.
form.
Hmm.
Mhm.
By the way, I was saying संदीप छेत्री वही बोल रहा था कि these scores don't mean anything. यार वो तो always है ही shooting में कि
Forget it, Kapil.
हाँ.
Forget it. Yeah.
वो तो shooting में है ही always कि कुछ भी हो सकता है. हाँ but बोल.
So वही है. Obviously, she is the one who has the highest potential, but yeah, like, can she do it in a stretch of 1 month and in at least 3 trials? Yeah, we will have to see, because obviously, when we'll talk about the rest three,
Hmm.
it's pretty much a comparable thing, right? For instance, if I talk about Mehuli here, I I would say she's the one who is most consistent here, and if you just discount the World Cup final scores from our list. So just to give you a bit context, World Cup final, I didn't even know why she participated in the first place, because World Cup final was sandwiched between national games and national championship, and there were two trials in December. Again, there were, and she was coming off from Asian Games, right? So it didn't make a lot of sense to participate, and it got somehow reflected in her scores also,
But
that
again,
fatigue.
बट अगेन उसमें वो फैक्टर आ जाता है राइट कि बिकॉज शी इज अ कोटा होल्डर, शी नोज कि ट्रायल्स में तो पहुंच ही जाएगी, एंड वर्ल्ड कप फाइनल
हाँ,
इवेंचुअली मेडल की भी वैल्यू तो होती है. यू मे नॉट वैल्यू, देयर आर पीपल हु आर लाइक वर्ल्ड कप फाइनल इज
या
मे बी
या
ओवररेटेड एंड ऑल, बट वैल्यू तो होती ही है.
Obviously, मैं ये नहीं कह रहा कि उसको जाना ही नहीं चाहिए था. शी वुड हैव हर ओन रीजंस, राइट? जस्ट दैट there might have been a factor of fatigue, which is what reflected in her scores also. Because the same thing happened with Rudransh, as we'll see in the next event. He also went, he participated in national games 3 days after which he was shooting again in World Cup final. So itna वो crunched हो गया था. So that could be the reason. Meholi, if you see Kapil, there is a very peculiar pattern for her. Is if she makes it to the final, she has made it to top four in each of those finals, be it domestic or international.
ओके.
The
या.
two, the World Championship 22 and the Spain World Cup are the two events where you do not see any color, and that is because Spain World Cup had a very very high cutoff. She did not even make it to the final, and same was with World Championship in 22. Rest all she has finished either among top, either as fourth or among medals. So that, which is a great thing in her
या.
case, and she's got a high ceiling as well. She's touched 634 in World Championship, which is again the highest level of competition. And I think, you remember there was, like, there was some domestic tournament, Khelo India or whatever, university games, and there was some news she had scored 636 or 637 also,
ओके
which
बाप रे,
is
नहीं आई डोंट
again,
रिमेम्बर.
yeah, something was circulating on Twitter. I remember very bleakly. So yeah, 636, 637. That shows the level of ceiling she has.
Yeah,
What
ठीक
do
है
you think?
performance तो है ही. The only thing you can say about Mehuli is कि maybe there isn't too many recent events at all. It's not कि she's not performed. So for example, if you see अगर trials है T1, T2, T3, T4, she competed on only one of them in T3,
Hmm.
and none of the others competed there. And उसके अलावा ठीक है, she didn't compete in the Egypt World Cup, Spain World Cup में as you said थोड़ा slightly low ही था. Asian Championship में she is there. But yeah, ठीक है. And the other thing I'll say is, okay, you said कि she's already always been in top four, but half of them is also fourth. So that is also one factor to consider.
Yeah,
But
that
yeah,
is one, yes, for
but yeah,
sure.
Mehuli is great. And मैंने ठीक है, मिक्स में तो ऑनेस्टली यहाँ पे किसी के भी कुछ खास मेडल्स है नहीं. रमिता को एक
Hmm.
मिक्स मिला है और मेहुली को एक मिक्स मिला है, तो देयर इज नथिंग मच देयर.
इसका तो अलग ही होता है ना फिर वो, that
नहीं, but it
has
matters,
different
right?
dynamics.
If we are talking about ki who do we want to see in Paris, they will be competing in both individual and mixed. So from that
Yeah,
perspective,
but
it matters, right?
that's like an outcome, right? I don't think it matters in these trials कि उन्होंने mix में
हाँ नहीं
कैसा
नहीं,
किया.
trials में obviously doesn't. I'm just saying from a perspective के who do we want to see in Paris from that perspective.
Yeah, yeah, true, true, true. And
हाँ,
Mehuli के case में, among these five, she's the most experienced one. She's been to multiple,
I mean Ela is also
multi-game.
there. Ela is I think more
She
experienced.
started even before Ela. She
हाँ.
she came as a 16-year-old. She started even before Ela.
Hmm,
Went to the Commonwealth Games 2018.
hmm,
So yeah, she's been to a lot of multi-event games, and she's super experienced, been very very consistent, has performed at the highest level. Basically, when I see Mehuli, when I see her scores, when I see the kind of experience she has, I am at ease and at comfort that I would want genuinely that she makes it to Paris
hmm.
personally for me.
ठीक है. Yeah. Yeah, beyond Mayoli, I'll just point out Ramita as well. I mean, Ramita is one who I am a little impressed with.
Yeah,
ठीक है,
very
again, if
impressive.
yeah, if you again look at the scores, सब कुछ 632, 631, 633, 632, lot of scores. She has domestic में she has finals as well. World Cup maybe couple of medals, one mixed medal. So she's there always. She's sort of been a little bit of a nearly girl. मैंने देखा था she has a lot of, let's say, ninth place performances, a lot of fourth place performances. So just if you see last year 2023 में she has a couple of fourth places back to back. तो थोड़ा बहुत वो थोड़ा नियरली वाला फैक्टर आया है. But Ramita is also definitely ठीक है. I mean, in
Yeah,
general, we have talked only that these five have been like the top five women for a while. There were a couple of other names which we had heard which might have competed, but in general, these five have been the top five. तो
yeah.
उस हिसाब से.
I would say, matlab, if you see the domestic table in itself,
Hmm,
Tilatoma is one tier below, and
hmm.
these four have been, the top tier. Majority of the medals only you simply see the colors, right? All three colors are distributed among these four
या
only.
टिलोटमा का तो रीसेंट परफॉर्मेंस तो बुरा है ही ना. मतलब ऑब्वियसली अब
Hmm.
टिलोटमा के ऊपर डोमेस्टिक में देयर विल बी नो कलर बिकॉज हाईएस्ट स्कोर आउट देयर इज 628. शी इज नॉट गेटिंग टू द
Yeah,
फाइनल इन दैट. सो फाइनल
yeah, yeah.
पहुंचेगी ही नहीं तब तो कलर
Even
आना ही नहीं है. हाँ.
yeah, even if you don't talk about her, the point is that all the
रिमेनिंग फोर.
medals
हाँ.
are getting distributed among these four.
Yeah, that I saw, I noticed. And yeah, last is obviously Ila, the only one who's actually been to Olympics out of these
Yeah,
five. And yeah, she
and who
also.
is consistent as well.
Yeah, she's considered more of, I guess, 630 scores. No, like impressive 633 or something, Wow score
Yeah.
nahi hai. 633, 634 types nahi hai. But
Barring
yes,
that,
ek
like
six.
one recent Asian Championship score where she got silver with
Right, एक
633.8.
633.8 है. Okay, I was searching. Yeah.
Yeah,
नेशनल चैंपियनशिप में भी 632.9 है. वो 633 होता तो थोड़ा ज़्यादा बेटर दिखता है. बट या इट्स बेसिकली द सेम. So she has her scores, and yeah,
yeah,
it will be a heavily tough competition here.
yeah, yeah.
But हाँ, based on recent form, like Nancy is the favorite, and you can say experience पे ठीक है. Mehuli and Ila are there, and yeah, Namita also. I think Namita has probably been maybe more consistent.
She is. I
She's
mean,
been shooting
she
right from
got
the
the
beginning.
maximum number of medals, right?
मेडल्स तो ठीक है. मतलब इंटरनेशनल तो बोल रहा है कि डोमेस्टिक.
Totality, she's got what, five medals I can see.
फाइव. हाँ, फाइव नहीं, बट नांसी के भी है.
नहीं,
नांसी
नैन्सी के ज्यादा है,
नांसी के
right?
छः
Nancy
हैं.
has six. Hmm.
4 + 6. हाँ, तो ठीक है. It's all similar. It's
Yeah, yeah.
probably the
Very
most.
difficult to separate
Yeah,
these
we
four.
have
No?
started with this, but probably the most competitive trials might be this only.
See, the only for Ela, the only thing I am worried about is majority of her scores are 630 and 631, hovering around that.
Hmm.
Uh, 2 years back, I would have been comfortable with it. Just that
अब नहीं
the
है.
competition globally has moved even higher. So if someone has a base level at 632,
Hmm.
that is where I would be more
Hmm.
comfortable. So वो चीज़ है थोड़ा सा.
एंड रीजनेबली रिसेंट एक 627 भी है ट्रायल वन में. बट वो तो ठीक है, कभी ना कभी पूरा पुअर स्कोर तो आना है. एवरीबडी विल हैव वन. या
See, that's what no. For Mehuli, Nancy and Ramita, वो फैक्टर बहुत बड़ा है that they haven't shot poor score throughout, all their events that are there. मेहुली का वो मैंने बताया वर्ल्ड कप फाइनल का that could have been a possibility, but beyond that 629 is the minimum they have shot and इसीलिए थोड़ा सा I'm inching towards these three. इन तीनों में से अगर कोई भी पहुंच जाता है it'll be awesome.
या ठीक है. And by the way, I'll just add one thing. If you look at this international rank, which is the Olympic qualification rank, you see all of them are like very close: 10, 11, 13, 14, 18. And I'll just add K, you will only see such high ranks across the board in this event. Most other events, may we are going to see much lower ranks. And but okay, those ranks do depend on how much you competed as well, not just on performance, but number of events you competed also matter. But okay, just count my 10, 11, 13, 14, 18, all are Indians.
Kapil, can we quickly, like, because this event is such, can we quickly run a poll or something on the chat? It'll be fun, no?
चलो पोल कर लेते हैं. क्या पोल चाहिए बोलो.
चारों डाल दे, let's see.
नहीं बट पोल क्या डालना है कि
What?
हु डू यू वांट टू सी इन ओलंपिक्स.
Yes. Who
हु
do
डू यू वांट टू
you
सी और
want?
हु डू यू थिंक विल विन. विच वन.
Who do you want to see?
हु डू यू वांट टू सी इन पेरिस.
चारों का नाम डालना, and वहीं से टॉप टू निकल के आ जाएगा.
ठीक है चल. मेहुली तिलोतमा छोड़ दें राइट.
हम्म.
नैन्सी, रमिता, ईला. या आई हैव ओनली फोर ऑप्शंस तो ईला. ओके चलो पोल इज अप. पीपल कैन वोट इन द पोल. मीनवाइल यू वांट टू मूव टू मेन. मेन राइफल चले.
Yeah, let's move on to men rifle.
ओके.
इसमें I think थोड़ा सा simplified है, more than the women's. Do you want to start?
Yeah, ठीक है चलो. So I mean, okay, the first name we have to start with is Rudraksh Patil. Rudraksh Patil का the clear thing which you can obviously see is कि जो right in the beginning है that World Championship 22 से लेके भोपाल World Cup तक, which is the India World Cup, you have like 3 golds and a bronze. उसके ऊपर you also add कि mixed में भी he got a gold and a bronze there. So he was basically sort of undefeatable at that point. But
Hmm.
since then, matlab, unfortunately, it has gone down a little bit. And if you
Yeah,
see
by his own standards, actually, it hasn't gone so much down,
hmm,
but just by the lofty standards he had set for himself.
हाँ ठीक है. बट उसके अलावा भी इफ यू सी जैसे वर्ल्ड कप फाइनल में 626 है. इजिप्ट वर्ल्ड कप अभी अभी हुआ 629 है. सो
Yeah.
लॉफ्टी स्टैंडर्ड से तो डेफिनेटली इट्स गॉन डाउन अ लॉट. बट
Hmm.
उसके अलावा भी इट हैज गॉन डाउन अ लिटिल बिट.
Yeah.
जैसे एशियन
Even this,
चैंपियनशिप.
Azerbaijan Baku World Cup 23. When did that happen? Do you know the timeline?
आई थिंक कुछ मिडिल में है. कुछ
सीक्वेंस में ही है ना ये?
मई जून टाइप्स है आई थिंक सो.
हाँ, मई जून ही होगा, बिकॉज मई में भोपाल वर्ल्ड कप हैपेंड, इसके
हाँ तो
बाद
उसके
फिर
जून जून में हुआ होगा समवेयर देयर.
वो या आफ्टर भोपाल ही इज बीन अप एंड डाउन.
या वहाँ पे भी मतलब वही 628.8 था बाकू में. सो या इट्स और इवन उसके अलावा जैसे एशियन चैंपियनशिप में मेडल मिला है, ब्रॉन्ज मिला एशियन चैंपियनशिप 24 में. सो इवन दैट्स लाइक 630.4 विच इज नॉट लाइक अ माइंड ब्लोइंग स्कोर राइट. यू माइट नॉट मेक द फाइनल विद अ 630.4 स्कोर. मेन में मे बी स्लाइटली लोअर होता है वुमेन से. तो 631 might be enough, but yeah. So Dudransh, the only thing I'll say is I would love to see him back to form.
या.
If he actually wins the trials and he wins the next 4 trials with stellar scores, then all my doubts will go away. Because she has this huge record in 2022 and 2022 and 2023, and he has that been there, done that kind of thing. So you hope he'll probably not get nervous at the Olympics, though World Cups and Olympics definitely are very different, and a lot of shooters have talked about that. But you just hope for that. So my doubts will be dispelled if he can just do very well in the trials. But yeah, if he's like winning trials with 629 or 630 scores because even the other shot poorly, then yeah, you maybe have a little lower hopes. Let's say.
Yeah, yeah. I think I agree. I mean, it's a bit of concern what his recent form has been. If he gets back to his previous form, I think he is definitely still our best bet.
Hmm.
Even more than the scores, I would say. I mean, whatever you get to know about reading through the interviews or listening to him, and obviously talking to a few people I know in the shooting circle.
Mhm.
He's a character, and he's like a solid character, does not come under pressure very easily,
Mhm.
and he's got that thoda sa wo jo champions attitude aura hota hai. He's got that to him. So
Okay.
yeah, definitely be good if he can get back to the top scores. It'll be good for us. Yeah.
बाय द वे पोल में वही मेहुली एंड नैन्सी टॉप पे, दमिता
पोल
थर्ड।
मुझे दिखा ही नहीं फॉर सम रीजन आई डोंट नो.
अच्छा तू
नेवर
वोट नहीं कर
केम टू
पाएगा ना,
माय.
तू वोट नहीं कर पाएगा
नहीं.
ओलंपिक्स ऑन माई माइंड में ना तू।
हाँ, उससे लॉग्ड इन हूँ बट दिखना तो चाहिए था. और नो.
नहीं मुझे मुझे दिख रहा है यार, तू चेक कर। आई डोंट नो, मे बी रिफ्रेश मार ले, पता नहीं।
कर लिया. चलो एनीवेज, क्या
ठीक है।
रिजल्ट क्या बोल के.
46% मेहुली, 32% नैन्सी चल रहा है, मैंने एंड नहीं किया अभी तक। एंड
हम्म,
अच्छा रमिता जस्ट वेंट 18%, 18-20%, एंड इलावनिल इज 3-4। इलावनिल इज बाय फार द लोएस्ट, पीपल आर नॉट
okay.
कॉन्फिडेंट इन इला, बट ठीक है।
Yeah, that's a bit of recency bias also, but ठीक है, that's okay.
ओके रुद्रांश के आगे, यू वांट टू स्टार्ट, वेयर यू वांट टू गो?
Yeah. So I think if you see who is the informed shooter considering both domestic and international, I would pick Arjun Babuta for that.
अच्छा,
Right. Uh, हाँ,
आई
मतलब
डोंट सी।
November onwards, he's given good scores, right? He's
कहाँ है
got a
यार?
silver.
एक
Asian Championship onwards, you see, no,
एशियन चैंपियनशिप में ओके 633.4, दैट्स फाइन।
that's a
ओके,
silver.
बट
Then
देन
there
लाइक
are a couple of
629,
633 and
630,
631.
631 का है, 629, 630, देन अगेन 630। अच्छा उसको 631 गिन रहा है, ओके दैट्स फाइन। या
Trials maybe the recent trials, if you'll see, 633 and 631, both with gold.
yeah, gold is the impressive part, but yeah ठीक है, you can say.
Uh, yeah.
For me I mean the number that caught my eye is वो कार्तिक सबरीराज, मतलब ठीक है, he doesn't have
Mhm.
any international experience and that is a big question mark, but if
Yeah.
you just look at the last score T2 में, but ठीक है उसके भी पहले नहीं है, वो लास्ट दो स्कोर ही है बेसिकली, T3 and T4, 633.2 and 634। those two scores basically have got him into these trials, otherwise
Yeah.
he wouldn't be
Yeah.
here, but हाँ उसके अलावा
I'm not
that's a little
comfortable
questionable।
with either of them,
uh,
honestly.
Karthik and
With
Sandeep, right?
No, Karthik, and I'll come to Sandeep, but
Hmm.
because we were talking about Arjun and then Karthik,
Hmm.
so for both, I'm saying Arjun, okay, he does have a lot of experience now. He's been, a junior shooter, and he started shooting at senior level even when he was a junior, when he
Hmm.
came up the ranks 3-4 years back.
Hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't get very confident seeing his shooting, especially when it matters the most. And like he's a bit soft in terms of I don't know how do I put it. Like he going by how he shoots, it feels watching him that he might get under pressure, or he might not be able to overcome if there is a dip or if there is a bad series. So that ways I don't feel very confident with him. With Karthik, like you said, the only reason he's here is because of the two trials, recent trials, right?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
would want to see him how he scores in these trials, and basically he doesn't have anything to show in terms of international experience.
हाँ नहीं मतलब in fact he is a little lucky in a way कि he has the minimum two events which दो से कम होते तो होते ही नहीं. So for example, ठीक है, but यहाँ पे okay we have the top five. So for example, a 10-meter rifle women में you had this Sonam Maskar who was
Yeah,
domestic number 4.
similar case.
But
Yes.
she was not able to make it because maybe she has only one international event or uh, but ठीक है, she was fourth. Third होती तो she would have maybe made it. Fourth
I
पे
was
you can.
wondering, so their criteria is you need to have a minimum of two ISSF events participated, right? So they consider continentals as well
Yeah.
as
So it's
ISSF.
basic. It's basically so this two event criteria. First of all, it comes from the Olympic qualification criteria. It's not an NRAI criteria.
Oh, okay.
ओलंपिक क्वालिफिकेशन
So
में वो,
they're just
हाँ वो
aligning with
MQS का
that.
ऑल्टरनेटिव है बेसिकली, जो पहले MQS का होता था. सो यू नीड टू हैव अ मिनिमम ऑफ टू इवेंट्स विच आर, एंड आई थिंक ISS हैव इंक्लूडेड सर्टेन इवेंट्स इन दैट. उसमें ग्रांड प्री भी है. सो देयर इज अ
Hmm.
लॉन्ग लिस्ट ऑफ इवेंट्स बट यू नीड टू शूट एटलीस्ट टू इवेंट्स इंटरनेशनली. सो
Yeah,
वो
yeah.
उधर से वो आया है मोर देन
Hmm.
एनीथिंग एल्स. एंड एंड या सो कार्तिक का वही है कि, तो आई वाज सेइंग कि हाँ सोनम मस्कार मिस्ड आउट, शी वाज फोर्थ. बट आई थिंक वो फोर्थ का भी फैक्टर था. मे बी शी हैज अ कपल ऑफ इवेंट्स बिकॉज द आइडिया इज यू नीड टू बी द टॉप थ्री इंटरनेशनल और टॉप थ्री डोमेस्टिक, or if you're fourth then you need to be fourth or fifth in both international and domestic. So I don't think she was in international, but yeah, okay, I'm not sure. uh,
Hmm.
but yeah, Karthik Sabadira is
Yeah, but
obviously
yeah,
matlab,
I wouldn't be confident at all seeing
yeah.
Karthik.
So, and I would actually add that to Sandeep Singh also. Both of them have thought of just about sneaked in into the trials.
Yeah,
Okay.
agree.
Sandeep ka to in fact, if you see, Sandeep basically skipped T3 and T4. Okay.
Hmm.
And by the way,
That was a smart call.
so yeah, just to tell our audience, the reason you skip, let's say, a T3 and a T4 is because you're trying to protect an older score of yours. So because the way these domestic NRAI ranking works is that they look at the last five events which you have shot, and they take the best four scores out of those last five. So if your fifth oldest event is a high score, you don't want to shoot another score because that fifth event will go out of your, basically out of your resume.
Yep.
तो यहाँ पे आई थिंक इसका फिफ्थ इवेंट, आई एम नॉट, आई थिंक, आई डोंट नो कौन सा था. मे बी वो नेशनल गेम्स होगा, आई एम नॉट श्योर. और मे बी इट वाज द एशियन चैंपियनशिप 23. नहीं, बट उधर से तो
Hmm.
छः. हाँ नहीं, सॉरी, संदीप देख रहा हूँ ना मैं, राइट राइट, मैं गलत देख रहा था. हाँ, संदीप का, ओके, संदीप का फिफ्थ इवेंट विल बी, कौन सा होगा.
T2 होगा ना?
हाँ ठीक है, आई एम नॉट, आई थिंक T1 भी होगा, आई एम नॉट श्योर बिकॉज
T2 और Spain World Cup could be.
स्पेन वर्ल्ड कप का तो ठीक. फिफ्थ ओल्डेस्ट बोल रहा हूँ मैं, नॉट द रिसेंट.
अच्छा, oldest. Okay.
सो ओल्डेस्ट बोल रहा हूँ मैं. सो आई थिंक इट्स
ठीक
एक्चुअली
है.
एशियन चैंपियनशिप 24. हाँ, नेशनल गेम्स एंड नेशनल चैंपियनशिप इज गॉन, एंड देन यू हैव एशियन चैंपियनशिप 24, इजिप्ट वर्ल्ड कप 24, स्पेन वर्ल्ड कप T1 and T2. यस, दैट्स इज 5.
Yeah.
क्योंकि नेशनल चैंपियनशिप लास्ट ईयर हुआ, राइट. सो नाउ इफ ही शूट्स अनदर वन देन ही हैज टू बेटर 633.4 टू improve his score,
Hmm.
जिसके वजह से he did not shoot T3 and T4 and he just about sneaked in into fifth place.
Yeah.
And plus of course nothing to show internationally for both Karthik and Sandeep. No medals at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, so obviously they are the underdogs going in this. Karthik के केस में एटलीस्ट यू कैन से कि ओरे 633 634 अभी अभी शूट किया है, बट संदीप के केस में वो भी नहीं है. तो संदीप फॉर मी इज डेफिनेटली द
T3
biggest underdog.
T4 में even the competition wasn't there, right? So थोड़ा सा तो it does change the dynamics that you know that okay, मतलब
but
nobody, Rudransh is not there,
but
not
but
around, Divyansh is not
but
there, other top
eventually
shooters are not
but
there.
eventually you're shooting your qualification score only na. I don't know how much
Yeah,
competition
yeah,
that comes.
I know that, but it might play on your mind. I'm just thinking out loud
I,
here. It
I
might play on your mind that okay, I don't have anything to lose. There's no competition I'm playing against. Let me just shoot with a free mind.
Yeah, I'm not
It's
sure
just
about
human
that.
psychology only.
No, I'm not sure about that because I think what will when you're shooting that T3 T4, you basically have a rough score in your mind that this is the score I need to make to get into those trials. And because
You
Rudra,
think you do all these
नहीं,
calculations. You think that
these guys also
shooters
have
well
teams,
into
यार. These guys also have teams. कि it's like तुमको 633
which
चाहिए वरना
team?
तुम्हारा नहीं होने
Nobody,
वाला है.
nobody does all of these
Everybody has
calculations.
families,
Kapil,
यार.
they're all away.
ठीक है,
They
okay.
have, they have, but majorly from what I've observed is they don't do all of these calculations, and it's anyways it's unnecessary pressure only. It will add that okay, I have this benchmark, I need to score a 633, and that is how I'll
So that's what I'm saying
qualify.
ना. तो बट वही तो बोल रहे हैं ना unnecessary. अच्छा, you are saying if they do the calculation then it's unnecessary
Yeah,
pressure. Okay,
yeah.
ठीक है, but yeah, okay, I'm not sure about that, but yeah, anyways.
They what I think probably they should hire you as a strategist or something as their manager, and that is how maybe they can then start strategizing.
हाँ हाँ, मैं तो भैया तैयार बैठा हूँ, लेकिन मेरे को हमेशा ये लगता है whenever we make these kind of jokes ना, मुझे हमेशा लगता है कि we underestimate how much they do all this. That's my feeling.
Look,
हम लोग को
from
बनता
where
है कि
I
भाई
am
ये लोग कुछ
coming
करते नहीं
is
है, but मेरे को लगता है they do.
I do visit. Previously I've visited so many World Cups. Even I've gone for a couple of trials also, and I keep on talking to people there. Right? तो उससे थोड़ा बहुत लगता है कि हाँ, मतलब I don't think they dwell so much deeply into these numbers. No.
पता नहीं, ठीक है. Anyway,
Well,
Shabam,
anyways, so
नहीं,
who
but we left out one guy, Divyansh Panwar, the
yeah,
most experienced guy.
yeah.
So
And
मैं
I think just before we start, I don't think he gets into consideration automatically just because he's the last one remaining, and we sort of eliminated Arjun, Karthik, and Sandeep. But there are obviously valid reasons that he has to be there among top. Yeah,
अच्छा
go
अच्छा,
on.
you are really like you want him definitely.
Absolutely, yes,
Okay,
yes,
ठीक है. I'm not so strong, but yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing him. But दिव्यांश का हुआ,
yeah,
मतलब at least the sort of the memes go, the jokes go कि he falters when it matters. ठीक है, a lot of that comes just from the Tokyo performance, which is not
that's right.
fair. And
Hmm.
maybe having an Olympic experience can help a little bit also. You don't know.
Yeah,
But yeah, overall, at least recent times में ठीक है, डोमेस्टिक में तो 630 ही मारे हैं, बट ठीक है, इजिप्ट वर्ल्ड कप में 632 मारा, बट वापस स्पेन में 629 हो गया. उसके
Egypt
पहले
World Cup is the same World Cup where he shot a world record score as well in the
इन द
finals.
फाइनल. ओके, सो या दैट्स द गोल्ड मेडल मैच. एंड एशियन में भी अच्छा है, उसके पहले दोनों एशियंस में ही जस्ट अबाउट मिस द कोटा बाय द वे इन द एशियन चैंपियनशिप 23 टू अर्जुन. So
Yeah.
yeah, I yeah, definitely I would like to see Rudraksh, and I would really like to see Rudraksh mainly after shooting like 632s and 633s in the trials, not after shooting
Mm,
630s or 631s. And yeah,
mm,
उसके अलावा Karthik is the young guy, he's the wild card, but no international experience. Sometimes that can work, कि you go there at the Olympics also thinking कि मैंने तो अभी चालू किया है, I don't take pressure, मेरा तो और पूरा करियर पड़ा है. Something
mm,
it can work, but at least for us it has not worked in the past. So
mm.
we don't know, but yeah, nobody is like ऐसा है कि it's so consistent कि you really want to see them.
Yeah. See, for Divyansh, my only thing is, I think he's been performing well. He is experienced. He has got probably the highest ceiling among these four. You
Hmm.
would remember he has also shot 636 or 637 in one of the trials very recently. I think it
हाँ,
was
trials
last
में.
year that he did.
Hmm.
So that is where his comeback actually started. Okay.
Hmm.
Last year before Tokyo, what happened? I think from what I have heard again is he got back-to-back results medals just before Tokyo, just
Hmm.
before COVID, and he
Just
was just 17,
नहीं, एक
18
मिनट,
back
just
then,
before
right?
Tokyo you're saying कि just before COVID, there's a big difference.
I mean, during COVID there were just couple of medals, right? I don't
हाँ, बट तू
remember
बैक टू बैक ही
if he
बोल रहा है
got.
ना ये, इसीलिए मैं बोला
हाँ,
तू बैक.
मतलब my
आई
don't
थिंक
take
बिफोर कोविड.
everything technically, no,
हाँ,
Kapil.
नहीं ठीक है, बट आई थिंक बैक
My
बिफोर कोविड था, आई थिंक. हाँ.
हाँ सो मतलब चल बिफोर टोक्यो मान ले कोविड भी उसी में आ गया
Hmm.
he basically shot up to bit of fame in the sense that he was performing
हाँ,
really
ओके.
really well. There were expectations from him that he is probably one of the medal favorites also in Tokyo. So he did become overconfident going into Tokyo,
ओके.
right? Which was a reality check for him. And again, I think now the way he's shooting, the way he's performing, I think he's become more matured as opposed to how he was in Tokyo. Obviously, he has gained more experience. The confidence must be very, very high after that World Cup final, the world record score. And there are, pretty decent scores 632, 631 plus. So, yeah, I think yeah, I would love to see him as well because he has the potential and he's got the medals as well in him at the highest level. So yeah,
Hmm. And yeah, by the way, just as a comparison, मैंने वो डाल रखा था 8 old medals. So that's 8 old medals pre-Tokyo. So it includes mixed as well as individual. But वही
mm,
वाली बात है कि मतलब in that Tokyo cycle, Rio to Tokyo cycle, and okay, Divyansh I think started mainly from 2018 somewhere there, 2018 के बीच में.
yeah,
So वो
yeah,
एक डेढ़ साल में he has got 8 medals. And पिछले फिर 3 साल में 21 to 24 he's got what 2 medals international. एक इजिप्ट वर्ल्ड कप पे गोल्ड मिला और एक मिक्स सिल्वर मिला एट एशियन चैंपियनशिप 23. So
mm,
that is like a that is how good he was pre Tokyo, at least on international performances.
yeah,
But yeah, ठीक है. I would be okay either Divyansh or Arjun. It's fine. But and
mm,
honestly, the inconsistency doesn't give me too confidence anywhere. But yeah, maybe Divyansh has a higher ceiling. I'll agree with that on. But ठीक है अर्जुन के वो T3 T4 के goals भी हैं, so I'm okay either way, honestly.
yeah. Like I don't mind Arjun honestly, but I would want Divyansh. That's where I am.
ठीक है. You want another poll? We can do this actually.
Nah, it's fine. It's fine.
Doesn't hurt.
हर इवेंट में करने लग जाएंगे ना.
हाँ तो क्या फर्क पड़ता है? Doesn't hurt ना. We are not spending time on it.
चलो ठीक है ठीक है.
डाल देता हूँ मैं.
Cool. The
वो
previous one had 53 with Mehuli 58%, Nancy 22, Ramita 13 and
अनाउंस ही कर दे. खत्म किया मैंने. मेओली eventually getting 58 and Nancy 22. Damita came close at 13. इला थोड़ी बड़ी बाद में at 5. So I'll just put
बट
Patil.
इसका क्या पोल डाल रहे हैं लाइक जस्ट अर्जुन और दिव्यांश और who?
नहीं बट वही डाल देता हूँ ना मैं नाम से और क्या. सेम थिंग.
मतलब पांचों डाल रहे हैं या क्या?
हाँ पांचों डाल रहा हूँ. कार्तिक संदीप को उसमें कर रहा हूँ इन वन. देख ले तू दिख जाएगा अभी होपफुली.
ओके ठीक है. Meanwhile, I am moving on to the next event, or do you have anything else to add here?
नहीं नहीं ठीक है. वी कैन मूव. कहाँ जाना है? आई थिंक राइफल कर ले पहले तो 50 मीटर जाए.
हाँ हाँ मतलब सीक्वेंस वाइज ही चलते हैं जो एक्सेल में लगे हुए हैं.
जो एक्सेल में लगी है ठीक है चल.
Yeah.
सो वी गो टू 50 मीटर राइफल. यू वांट टू स्टार्ट?
Yeah, 50-meter rifle. I think okay. So far we've been starting from the bottom. Probably this time I'll start from top. I think there's a clear contender here. He's shown n number of times in the recent past that he's got medals in him. He's got score in him, and he's one of our top consistent shooter. Across all the events. So yeah, there's no two ways about it that probably he will
एक मिनट एक
get
मिनट हाँ.
selected.
एक मिनट. I'll just put it in the chat. Guys, just type who Weber is talking about. I think everybody knows. But ठीक है. Just type who Weber is talking about. तो तू बोल.
मतलब मेरे को कंप्लीट तो करने देता. आई जस्ट लॉस्ट
नहीं
माय
तो नहीं
एंटायर
तो
चेन
यू
ऑफ
कैन टॉक
थॉट्स.
ना फिर उसके बाद मतलब नाम मत बोलना. जब 2 मिनट लगता है टाइपिंग आने में भी. तो आई नहीं अभी तक. आई डोंट नो इफ पीपल आर इंटरेस्टेड इन टाइपिंग राइट नाउ. बट ठीक है बोल.
I mean, they can see it on the screen as well.
बोल
Yeah.
बोल.
So anyways, so yeah, it's a clear cut, and he's one of my favorite shooters as well.
हम्म.
So yeah, it's pretty clear that one, he is going to make it to the Olympics. I am fairly confident about that. Secondly, given that he's among the top 10 most elite shooters right now in 53P, I think he's got good medal chances as well, considering he's great in qualifying as well as finals. And you have got your answer as well from the chat.
Yeah, there's some people having fun with typing Kusale, but yeah, I think it's pretty clear.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah,
yeah,
but Kusale has to be there in conversation. Huh? We will come to him.
yeah, ठीक है. I mean, yeah, I agree. Just look at the record. Domestic में भी he competed thrice. तीनों गोल्ड है. 588, 590, 588, 589. एक 593 भी है. Always like ठीक है. एक वर्ल्ड चैंपियनशिप 23 was the weak point at 583, but everything else is like 588 plus. He has international medals as well. You can see like 4 medals here, 3 medals in the past as well. He's gone to the Olympics as well. So yeah,
Yeah.
everything is working, and yeah, he is undoubtedly the clear favorite in this trial. we might want to talk about the fact he just about missed the 10-meter trial as well, because he was doing
Yeah.
very well in 10-meter as well. The only shooter who actually men shooter in rifle who has actually done, no, in fact only shooters only, yeah. इनके अलावा बस women pistol shooters हैं who have done well in 2 events, but Aishwarya is probably
But
the
do you
only.
think was it a deliberate call to miss out on the
नहीं नहीं,
latest trials, and that is why, or did he participate in the latest trials and missed out on making it to the top 5 in 10-meter air rifle?
नहीं नहीं,
I
deliberate
think
missing तो कुछ है नहीं, मतलब I can check एक second में
मतलब
जल्दी
he
से.
could have participated in the latest trials and then still made it, right? अगर उसको करना था, could have been that probably they internally decided that it's good for him to focus only on one particular event.
I doubt it,
Could
because
be a
like
possibility.
participant में तो हमेशा वो आ जाता है, right, कि it's like which is your fifth last event, so that thing sort of always comes into the play picture.
Mhm.
And ठीक है, yeah, he has missed trial 3 and trial 4, but if I look at the scores, there's 1 2 3 yeah, 1 2 3 4. हाँ तो देख, इसका fourth oldest event is a 632.50,
Hmm.
and the fifth oldest event is a 631.40, and उसके बाद there has been like 627 626, एक 630,
Okay.
मतलब एक 631 भी है. So yeah, it could be that, but it could also just be a case के it is
Could be
one of
either
the.
way, right?
हाँ, yeah, so it could be either way, and basically वही है, संदीप सिंह sort of just sneaked in, but ठीक है, संदीप सिंह ने खुद ने ट्रायल 3 ट्रायल 4 खेला नहीं है, so they knew
Hmm.
what the status was, but
Yeah.
yeah, it could be either thing, but
Yeah.
so he was the one guy, so even from a quota exchange perspective, he was the one guy who could have competed in both events and got made a quota free available for quota exchange, but at least on the men's side that's not going to happen now.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Mm,
So again, continuing with Aishwarya, I think my only concern here is there was a time, especially from September, August to December last year, he was scoring 590 plus back to back, with
mhm,
an exception of World Championship, obviously.
mhm,
Uh, because we do not have trial scores from that period.
mhm,
So even in those, as in the trials before national games or national championship, there again, he had 590 plus scores. But this year so far, he hasn't touched 590
mhm.
from what we can see. So
This year he hasn't touched.
588,
Okay, yes he has. ठीक है, 589 किया, 590 नहीं हुआ. Okay.
yeah, yeah, 589 भी कहाँ किया है?
नहीं, अच्छा 5,
588 किया है ना?
अच्छा नेशनल गेम्स 5, हाँ ठीक है 588 है, बट ठीक है कितना शूट किया है फिर वो भी बात है ना, इस साल
मतलब
कितना शूट.
588 is still
नहीं
शूट
नहीं,
भी कम किया है, शूट भी कम किया है,
किया
दैट
ही
इज
नहीं,
ऑल्सो ट्रू.
किया ही नहीं है ना, मतलब
दो
एक एशियन
इवेंट्स
चैंप.
किए.
हाँ, सो किया ही नहीं है, सो दैट डजंट काउंट, राइट. 2 इवेंट किए, दोनों में 588 मारा है, तो यू कांट से.
But that's borderline score for me,
हाँ,
right?
588
Like,
इज बॉर्डर लाइन, दैट आई एग्री, बट इट्स लाइक यू कांट से कि मतलब इस साल नहीं किया तो इट्स अ बिग डील, दैट्स व्हाट आई एम सेइंग, क्योंकि शूट ही 2 इवेंट
मतलब
किए.
for a shooter who has been consecutively shooting 590 plus, तो वो मैं सिर्फ हाईलाइट करना चाह रहा हूँ. It's just a caveat that
कि कपल ऑफ
uh,
588 इन रीसेंट टाइम्स.
yes, so far he hasn't had a good start of the year by his own
Own high
standards,
standards.
like I said. Yeah.
By the way, I saw Vasant in chat is saying in recent European outing, Kusale, Akhil and Neeraj were also very good. तुझे कुछ idea है?
Yeah, we'll talk about that. So
ठीक है.
जब उन पे आएंगे, all three of them performed very very well, especially Swapnil. So
Okay.
Swapnil did so. Apparently, they participated in a Grand Prix Poland or somewhere,
Mhm.
and Swapnil shot 590 plus in both.
Okay.
And in one of those, even Akhil scored 590 or 589.
Mhm.
But the highlight of that part was Akhil's final score, where he won the gold, was
Mm.
better than the existing world record.
Okay. ठीक है. I guess let's start with Swapnil. Swapnil का मतलब one thing I saw कि if you see the record, मतलब it was great in like World Championship 22 where he got a 593. World Cup final maybe he got 589. Then it dropped off. 23
Yeah.
was basically bad. First half of 23 was.
Basically,
हाँ
he got dropped off after winning the quota.
नहीं, बट उसके बाद भी वर्ल्ड कप फाइनल में किया है 589, मेनली 2023 में कुछ नहीं हुआ.
मतलब वर्ल्ड कप फाइनल तो बेसिकली मैं काउंट ही नहीं करता
नहीं
बिकॉज
नहीं, आई एम जस्ट
इट्स
सेइंग
अ वेरी
स्कोर ना.
डिफरेंट फॉर्म ऑफ
हाँ, बट आई
या
एम जस्ट सेइंग स्कोर ना, 589 इज फाइन. ओके. एंड उसके बाद फिर या वर्ल्ड कप में ड्रॉप्ड ऑफ एंड देन ठीक है, एक एशियन गेम्स का 591 है, बट इन जनरल स्कोर्स वर लिटिल लो ओनली. एंड देन सडनली इट्स नाउ कम इन ट्रायल्स में
या
जो पहले दो ट्रायल में वापस 593 591 आ गया. नेशनल चैंपियनशिप में 589 है, सो इट्स लाइक इट्स सॉर्ट ऑफ गॉन दिस वे. It was
या
up, then down, and then
प्रेजेंट
back up.
प्रेजेंट फॉर्म इज ग्रेट.
Hmm. And yeah, this is
He's the only one shooting 590 plus
hmm.
consistently.
The only thing you can say is no international medal. The only international medal he has is a silver way back in 2022 in the World Cup. But उसके अलावा या तो इंटरनेशनल मेडल कैबिनेट एम्प्टी हो तो थोड़ा तो वो डाउट आता है.
Yeah.
Especially when you if you compare it, let's say Akhil Shionan, whom we were talking the other
Mhm.
one. Akhil has gold, he has two bronzes to show. एंड
Yeah.
ठीक है, डोमेस्टिक में तो ओके, एवरीबडी हैज डन वेल इन फाइनल्स, एवरीबडी हैज डोमेस्टिक मेडल्स. स्वप्निल आल्सो हैज, अखिल आल्सो हैज,
See,
ऐश्वर्या
Akhil
डोमिनेट.
ka, the only thing is he's on a rising curve ever since. मतलब उसका इतना high level नहीं है as compared to Swapnil or Aishwarya. But you would see even the World Championship medal that he got where he won the quota, वो भी 585 पे आया.
हाँ, कम पे ही
And
आया है.
then राइट देन एशियन चैंपियनशिप में वो जो गोल्ड जीता वो भी 586 पे आया. सो द बिगेस्ट प्रॉब्लम विद अखिल वाज एंड आई थिंक आई रिमेंबर चेकिंग हिज स्टैट्स ही हैड नेवर टच्ड 590. ठीक है, as recent as the T2 trial और मे बी उससे पहले एक बारी कभी किया हो. दैट वाज द बिगेस्ट प्रॉब्लम बिकॉज वो उसकी सीलिंग ही 587 588 पे थी. ही इज अ गुड फाइनल शूटर but he does not have the tendency to shoot high scores in
इन
qualifiers,
क्वालिफिकेशन.
which is what is changing now because he does have two 590 plus scores, one in T2 as we can see, and one on the in the European tour,
यूरोपियन सर्किट
like
में
I
यार.
mentioned, right? So वो चीज आ रही है and yeah, if he is able to maintain that this consistency in the qualification round, I think final wise he's a great shooter for us. We
ओके.
can easily see that.
आई जस्ट ऐड वन थिंग एज वेल. तूने जैसे मतलब वर्ल्ड चैंपियनशिप 23 बोला कि गॉट अ ब्रॉन्ज विद 585. आई जस्ट वन कि वन थिंग इज देयर कि जो 50 मीटर में देयर इज अ लिटिल बिट ऑफ वेदर इम्पैक्ट आल्सो, क्योंकि 50 मीटर इज अ सेमी आउटडोर इवेंट. तो इट
Yeah,
कैन बी कि कहीं एक इवेंट पे द स्कोर्स हैव बीन लोअर बिकॉज जस्ट द कंडीशंस आर देयर. जैसे इफ यू सी वर्ल्ड चैंपियनशिप 23, द थ्री गाइज हु हैव गॉन 585 583 577 एंड द
yeah,
कट ऑफ वाज आल्सो लो ओनली. तो वो भी
yeah.
एक थोड़ा फैक्टर हो सकता है.
होता है
Because
होता है.
50 meter you can't just directly take scores and say this is clearly better than that.
But
थोड़ा
correct me if
फैक्टर है.
I'm wrong.
हाँ.
World Championship 23 में the scores मतलब अखिल के ऊपर के जो scores थे they went pretty high,
हाँ, एक
right?
दो होंगे, दो तीन होंगे, बट कट ऑफ नीचे ही है, राइट. कपल ऑफ पीपल माइट हैव
हाँ,
बीन देयर.
because उस टाइम पे ये भी था कि a lot of shooters had already secured their quota and were not eligible to participate, especially from China. Russians
ओके.
were not allowed. Europeans had already had their individual continental event जहाँ से उनको quota मिल चुका था. तो those all factors also came in, right? So
मे बी.
competition की intensity भी obviously कम ही थी.
ठीक है, मे बी पॉसिबल. बट या देखते हैं. हाँ, मतलब ऑब्वियसली ऐश्वर्या इज द फेवरेट ईयर एंड स्वप्निल अखिल में मतलब लुकिंग एट द रिकॉर्ड्स ईयर, वो एक तेरा बात सही है कि मे बी क्वालिफिकेशन में स्वप्निल इज स्लाइटली बेटर एंड फाइनल्स में अखिल इज स्लाइटली बेटर. सो दैट इज देयर.
So
whoever wins in the end.
where are you in this theory? Who would you want to pick for Paris if given a chance? Swapnil or Akhil? तेरा
Yeah,
फंडा रहता है ना फाइनल इज मोर इम्पोर्टेंट देन क्वालिफिकेशन.
I'm not saying it's more important. I'm saying it is more important than Indian shooting gives it credit for. It is not के qualification everything है. So I
I
mean
mean,
my.
I don't think they discredit it. It's just that they give more importance to qualification to select the shooters. That's all.
But that is what matters, right? Okay, ठीक है. We don't want to get into that discussion. वो कभी खत्म नहीं होगा. But yeah, honestly, looking at everything, I am still slightly leaning towards Akhil. I don't like the fact that Swapnil doesn't have a single medal. and most of his international scores are like ठीक है पुराने हैं but 580 583 584. The one thing which does give me hope for Swapnil is the recent ones, right? 593 591 589, which is good. But then ठीक है अखिल
Yeah,
का भी 592 है, ऐसा नहीं है कि नहीं है, 592 है, 589 है. And ठीक है 590 seems the barrier because of the decimal system, but I don't think 590 is that big a barrier. I think the more correct barrier is somewhere like 580 588 589 rather than 590 in my opinion.
yeah,
But ठीक है, so I would still slightly lean towards Akhil, but yeah, again वही वाली बात है कि if we let the trials happen and let's see. हाँ,
yeah, yeah.
trials में
Trials
वही
में if
होता
he
है
is
कि
able to touch 590 like twice, I would be more confident for Akhil for sure.
yeah, I will say this, that if trials it turns out that way, ki let's say Swapnil has shot just a little bit over Akhil in the qualification, maybe एक दो point ज़्यादा shoot कर लिए across 3 events, but Akhil has done much better in finals, then I will be disappointed कि we selected Swapnil ahead of Akhil. So that is
And
one
he's
thing I'll
more
be very disappointed.
experienced also.
Oh हाँ, by the way अखिल का तो वो we remember right 2016 के पहले भी he was shooting, he had almost by the way got a
He
quota
was
for
shooting
the
10 meter
10
as the
मीटर. हाँ, 10 मीटर अभी भी शूट करता है, he was there on the list but slightly lower. But हाँ, 2016 रियो के पहले we were both watching live where he
in
almost,
Delhi.
हाँ in Delhi where he almost secured a 10 meter quota. So
Yeah, lost
एक,
to a Iranian, I remember.
I think so, yeah. Hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, experience wise, obviously Akhil is very experienced, and इसमें actually experience है. If you go below, Chain Singh, for those who don't may not know, Chain Singh went to Rio in 50
कपिल
meters.
चैन सिंह चेन सिंह क्या होता है?
यार चेन होता है मेरे लिए, चेन तू बोल रहा है ठीक है. अच्छा,
चैन नाम होता है चैन
ठीक
चेन.
है भैया, मैं मारवाड़ी हूँ, तू पंजाबी है, ओके. और तेरी स्विफ्ट की स्टोरी
ओके.
अभी सबको याद है, उछल मत.
ओके.
By the way, Anubhav has given a $25 super chat. Thanks a lot,
थैंक्स
Anubhav.
अनुभव.
I don't see any message, but okay. Thanks a lot for the super chat. हाँ, so ठीक है. So Chen Singh was in Rio. He shot both 50 meter three positions and 50 meter prone,
प्रोन.
जो वहाँ पे compete हुआ करता था. And he sort of suddenly there, but he wasn't really there in the cycle, right? मतलब he's competed like 2 international events, एक Asian, एक और उसमें भी वो दो में से भी by the way Brazil World Cup ना, I think this Brazil World Cup का जो column है एक, I think this Brazil World Cup is where some shooters have gone on their own expense. I'm not sure, but मेरे को
Could
लगता
be,
है,
could be.
हाँ, but I
There was a
think
second fiddle team sent anyways.
नहीं नहीं, it wasn't a second fiddle team. Second fiddle team ठीक है. It was like very few shooters went. जैसे कुछ
I
event में
remember Saurabh also went.
हाँ,
Saurabh Chaudhary.
but it was not like every event where we had 3 shooters. Some events where we had
Mhm.
zero, some event where we have had 2 shooters also, some event
Mhm.
where we had 3 shooters. And the other thing is this Brazil World Cup, I never found on the NRI selection sheet. So chronology wise, it
Could
should
be.
be there on the NRI selection sheet, but it was not there. So that score has maybe not been considered for selection. So I have a feeling these guys, a few guys went there on their own cost. एंड वन ऑफ द रीजंस माइट बी कि ये 2 इवेंट कर लिए मैंने वो आईएसएसएफ का क्राइटेरिया मीट कर लिया. सो आई डिड नॉट गॉन टू ब्राजील, ही वुड हैव नॉट मेट दैट क्राइटेरिया.
Yep. Yep.
या
Yep.
एंड ओके ठीक है, स्कोर वाइज तो ठीक है
Yeah.
मास्टर.
Sorry, I got lost. Just need to do a little bit flex here. I actually met him after his event in Rio because he was done with both the events and he was roaming around outside the qualification range. I spoke to him 5-10 minutes. So, why usual like the responses he doesn't know what actually happened. Had prepared well. हाँ, one thing I remember he had mentioned कि Rio से पहले he had undergone a major injury and the physios and his teams were trying their level best to get back to him in his prime form. And but yeah, his preparations were well and all of that, but eventually doesn't know what went wrong in.
हाँ, वो तो ही वाज हॉस्पिटलाइज्ड ना, ही वाज हॉस्पिटलाइज्ड लाइक 2 or 3 months बिफोर रियो.
Yes, yes,
एंड देयर वाज
yes.
ऑल
Now
मतलब
I get
इलनेस था
what you
कुछ, सम टाइफॉइड और डेंगू और समथिंग लाइक दैट.
कुछ तो हुआ था.
कुछ इलनेस, एंड देयर वाज इवन टॉक कि मे बी ही माइट बी रिप्लेस्ड एट द लास्ट मिनट बिकॉज ही इज सिक, बट इवेंचुअली ही डिड गो.
Mm, yeah, but despite that, his preparation was pretty solid, and he said that he was scoring very well in the training. But yeah,
बट नहीं हो पाया, ठीक है. And yeah, मतलब right now, though, obviously he doesn't inspire too much confidence.
Mm,
Like it would be a
true.
completely wild sort of a bit of a story if he actually makes it.
Yeah.
It's possible. And last, obviously, Neeraj Kumar again. At least based on the sheet we have in front of us, nothing really impressive at all.
Yeah.
Highest
Yeah.
score is like 588. Doesn't have anything international to show.
But couple of 575 and 577s also, which is
Last year.
a big red flag, right?
हाँ but ठीक है, but you can say कि एक साल हो गया. That's the only thing you can say. But yeah, definite red flags there. Hmm. So yeah, no, it is kind of between the top three here. Hmm. I think.
Recent maybe जैसे Egypt World Cup 24, 582, National Championship 583. Again, pretty low scores for me.
बाय द वे प्रीवियस पोल खत्म हो गया है. दिव्यांश मतलब खत्म नहीं हुआ है, मतलब आई कैन एंड इट. सेकंड. Yeah, so Divyansh 26 and Arjun 13 and Patil is
Mhm.
55%.
Okay.
6% people want to see a Karthik or a Sandeep. I am guessing there are more Karthik fans in there. Uh, there's also a little bit of a South Indian factor there. South Indians want to see Karthik in there.
Or maybe people are Kartik Aryan fans.
Bad joke.
Anyways, let's move on.
Bad joke. But ठीक है चलो. और तुझे कुछ बोलना है? Mainly we are hoping कि
Yeah,
ऐश्वर्या should go and it should be between Swapnil and Akhil. So
yes, true.
यहाँ पे maybe I can just put a Swapnil or Akhil poll. I don't think I need to put a full poll.
Mm. Yeah, let's do that.
So who in Paris?
Interestingly, I am moving on to the next event,
हम्म.
53p women, and we
रुक
have
रुक
a
एक
very,
सेकंड
very.
मैं शीट अपडेट कर देता हूँ. हाँ बोल अभी.
क्या अपडेट करनी है?
नहीं नहीं, वो शीट दिखा दी मैंने.
Ah, okay. No, so I was just giving like the overall context that we have a very, very similar story and pattern
हम्म.
coming out of it. I won't beat around the bush. Simply put, we know that there is a parallel, like we spoke about Aishwarya, we have Sift Kaur Samra here, right? She's the clear standout favorite to make it to the Paris. Obviously, uh, checks all the boxes in terms of consistency, achievement, gold, back to back,
World
proving
records.
herself. Yeah, proving herself at the highest level, world record, and so many 590 plus has got the ceiling. So yeah, obviously she her tier right now, not right now, but in the recent past has been the highest.
हम्म.
But yes, we have others also to talk about.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
want to
uh,
add anything,
yeah,
Sif?
this is like there's shift and then there's the rest. So
Hmm.
उसके that's how this is. I mean, any criteria you see, even like सीधा सीधा जो सबसे पहले strike होता है is those 3 goals in domestic line by line, national championship T1 T2. उसके अलावा उन सब के साथ में there's an Asian championship, there's an Asian Games gold also, there's an Asian championship silver also, and she has world records splattered in there as well. Scores also 592, 593, 595. We saw nowhere near these scores in in the in the previous sheet in men. We saw nowhere
Hmm.
near these scores in the men. So yeah, huge scores. And
Yeah, and
so
Sift ka bhi same thing. Like I spoke about Aishwarya, hasn't started this year on a very high note. That's the only thing I can see from her scoreline.
क्यों मतलब which one are you worried about?
Just one event, no, and that too 586.
586 एक इवेंट ना, ठीक है यार, इट्स ओके. मतलब
But
डोमेस्टिक में तो
थोड़ा
है
सा
ना
it
पूरा.
adds on to the uncertainty where her level is right
यार इतना
now.
तो.
लंबा ब्रेक हो गया ना.
बट उसके बाद T1 T2 भी है ना. T1 T2 में 593 595 है.
T22 दिसंबर में थे ना कपिल
T1 T2 दिसंबर में
लास्ट
थे
ईयर.
क्या? अच्छा ओके, ठीक है, आई डिडंट नो दैट. अरे क्या हो जाता है इसको. ओके. या हाँ तू
Vasant
आगे
is
जा.
saying Ashi will beat Swift in trials and both will qualify. Do you want to comment on that?
आई मीन इट्स पॉसिबल, उसमें क्या है, इज ऑलवेज पॉसिबल. मैं आई वाज जस्ट कंफर्मिंग एक बार कि दीज 595 एंड 597 स्कोर्स में आई हैव नॉट मेड अ मिस्टेक ना. मैं जस्ट वो
No,
कंफर्म कर
no,
रहा था.
it's 100% confirmed, and Vasant has his reasons. So
हम्म.
she's Right now, she's in absolutely red hot form. Ashi Choksi. T4 597 gold. She won another silver in those Grand Prix tournaments we were talking about Swapnil, Neeraj, and Akhil.
Mhm.
She scored another 597 in that Grand Prix
Mhm.
and with a silver.
Ye-
Imagine.
Yeah, okay. 597 is, I mean, one of those scores which just makes your eyes ball. I honestly, मतलब I saw that 597 अभी मैंने ही शीट बनाई है. I saw that 597 और मुझे डाउट आ गया कि वो 597 में does it include like गोल्ड मेडल का बोनस पॉइंट, जिसकी वजह से आई वेंट एंड आई चेक्ड, क्योंकि ये एक आधा मिस्टेक हो सकता है कभी कभी एनआरआई की शीट से लेने में, कि वो गोल्ड मेडल के जो 2-3 बोनस पॉइंट आते हैं वो मिल जाते हैं टू द क्वालिफिकेशन स्कोर, इसलिए लिटरली ओपन द शीट एंड आई जस्ट चेक कि 597 था ना. So, but yeah, it is a 597, and basically the other one we have is Shriyanka Sadangi, who got the quota, but performance-wise, there's really
Not
nothing,
there. Yeah.
nothing at
Basically,
all, pretty
again,
much.
she's here only because she has the quota.
Yeah, and also it was, even if you look at the performance, she has that 1,588 in Asian Championship, which got her the quota, but उसके अलावा absolutely कुछ नहीं है.
Nothing.
And yeah, so उसके अलावा, so yeah, you have to like back Ashi only as the second one.
Yeah, obviously Sift and Ashia are the two favorites, but
Hmm.
I wouldn't mind Anjum, and I wouldn't be surprised also if she upsets one of these two, because obviously she's coming back to the right form. National games, it was a very heated competition between three. Anjum finally ended up on the top.
Hmm. Yeah.
She has the tendency to score high scores. She has tremendous amount of work experience. बोल रहा हूँ मैं.
जॉब से बाहर
Tremendous
निकल भैया कभी कभी.
experience. She's got like good amount of exposure from her historical events pre Tokyo. Even I don't know, she made it. She started even before Rio. I can't remember,
नहीं नहीं, आई थिंक
but
रियो
yeah.
के बाद ही थी. आई थिंक रियो के
Hmm.
बाद थी.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's I won't be surprised seeing her name also.
या एंड उसके आगे भी मतलब निश्चल आल्सो हैज दिस कपल ऑफ स्कोर्स, मतलब ट्रायल्स में तो वो फैक्टर तो रहता ही है कि एनीथिंग कैन हैपन. सो निश्चल का एक 592 है, एक 595 है, शी हैपेंस टू रेप्लिकेट दैट इन द ट्रायल्स, इट माइट बी इनफ. तो वो
Yeah,
थोड़ा बहुत रहता था ये, बट या द
571 भी दिख रहा है मेरे को उसका. 578 भी दिख रहा है.
हाँ वही तो मैं, दैट्स व्हाट आई सेड ना कि इवेंचुअली सब कुछ ट्रायल के बेस पे है, तो इट कैन गो ईदर वे राइट. एक 578 भी शूट किया, वी आर कंसीडरिंग 3 ऑफ बेस्ट 4, सो एक
Yeah,
578 इग्नोर हो जाता है.
yeah.
दैट काइंड
And
ऑफ हेल्प्स हर राइट.
just to your point in the previous event, that how sometimes wind plays in 53p. Guys, if you see the Azerbaijan World Cup scores here, all of them have scored
Yeah.
low 570s, 560s. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. But the only thing I'll say is कि that time maybe in general the performance was not that high. मतलब स्विफ्ट ने एक 588 मारा था in भोपाल in home conditions. But ठीक है, it should not be as low, anywhere near as low 571 572 जितना. But ठीक है, the shooters hadn't really started firing on all cylinders maybe by that point. But हाँ वो है तो सही, अजरबैजान का definitely it could be a wind factor or it could just be a coincidence.
Yeah.
But ठीक है, I think इसमें the top two at least choice wise looks pretty clear, right? You performance and everything wise, Swift and
Yeah.
Ashi should make it. अब ट्रायल्स में क्या
Yeah.
होता है टाइम बताएगा. अंजुम इज द बिगेस्ट चैलेंजर, एंड देन
Biggest challenge. Right.
निश्चल एंड श्रीलंका आर क्लियर आउटसाइडर्स.
Outsiders. Yeah, that's well summarized.
इसमें तो आई थिंक पोल की भी जरूरत नहीं है. आई थिंक वी कैन जस्ट गो अहेड. आई थिंक वी कैन जस्ट से कि बिकॉज वी आर डिस्कसिंग दिस, मतलब स्विफ्ट बिसाइड्स बीइंग द टॉप कंटेंडर इन द ट्रायल्स, शी इज आल्सो वन ऑफ दोज हु जिसके ऊपर ओलंपिक मेडल पे प्रेशर काफी बढ़ रहा है. देयर आर अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल आउट देयर हु आर लाइक ए स्विफ्ट इज माय नंबर 1 पिक फॉर द ओवरऑल मेडल इन पेरिस. तो वो
Yeah.
थोड़ा प्रेशर
Yeah.
आई थिंक जो पहले था नहीं अभी बढ़ रहा है. सो यू डोंट नो हाउ शी विल रिस्पोंड टू दैट, बट शी
Yeah.
रियली गॉट
And
अ लॉट
I
ऑफ फेम.
think, yeah, good that you brought this point up. So obviously, one thing we are keeping our eye on is that who makes it to Paris. But we definitely need to see what kind of scores these all of these shooters are getting, especially from these four events that we have discussed so far
Hmm.
in our rifle pistol shooting, I feel these four are our main events.
Hmm.
And just to for your information, Kapil, I don't know if you know or not. And I was reading some bits about the Chinese trials which they completed in March, and they have already announced their squad for
Hmm.
Paris.
Hmm.
Just take a ballpark guess how many world records in their entire trial, system that they held. How many world records the Chinese shooting contingent equaled or broke? Just
So
take a guess.
okay,
In
so
those trials only.
you're talking rifle pistol and you're talking world record trials में कितने break हुए, right?
Yes.
So
And also assuming, because we sort of figured it out last time before Tokyo, that China had this four trial system. So let's assume, I don't know what their trial system is for Paris,
hmm,
but let's assume it was the same four trial system, right?
yeah. So I mean, okay, there are eight qualification records and eight final records. So my sample size, मतलब my field is 16. So I'm gonna say, let's say five, six, somewhere there.
Yeah, yeah. They broke 12 world records
Oh,
and they
बाप रे.
equaled two world records.
So 14 you're saying, 12 plus 2.
Yes.
Oh, बाप रे.
Only in the trials. I mean, goes on to show the level they already were operating at such high level, but even there to that level there is a much higher potential,
Hmm.
which is crazy.
ठीक है.
And
Yeah,
before that,
Paris.
in the same article, it was mentioned they held their trials in March.
Hmm.
December Jan is the peak winters in China. Do you know the entire Chinese shooting contingent was sent to a couple of months military training. It was a
ये
hardcore military training which they had to undergo, and they came back from that and then started preparing for trials.
ठीक है यार. This okay, this military training a lot of people have tried. I mean, I remember even we had tried way back. मुझे याद है 2004 ओलंपिक्स के पहले शायद ना आर आर्चर्स वर सब्जेक्ट टू मिलिट्री ट्रेनिंग. तो ये होता रहता है. आई थिंक कोरिया वाला भी
होता रहता
करते
है.
हैं. कोरियंस आल्सो आई
सही
थिंक
बात
डू
है.
इट टू द आर्चर्स. इट्स वन ऑफ दोस थिंग्स व्हिच दे लाइक टू डू. आई डोंट नो कितना फर्क पड़ता है, बट दे डू दैट. ठीक है. ठीक है,
Yeah.
चलो फिर आगे बढ़े. इसमें तो कुछ पोल की जरूरत है नहीं. बाय द वे, डबल डिजिट ड्रीम इज सेइंग कि इज गोइंग फॉर भोपाल ट्रायल्स. हैव अ लॉट ऑफ फन. डबल डिजिट्स. व्हाट अबाउट यू? तू जा रहा है क्या? तू बोल रहा था दिल्ली में शायद जाएगा.
If they allow, I don't know. I'll have to check with a few people. I don't know because trials का थोड़ा रहता है. It's not like World Cup or I don't know about national championship. World Cup, of course, it's free entry, but trials का they don't generally allow fans, and sometime back they had stopped allowing media as well. So पता नहीं है. I'll check in if there is a chance. So yeah, could go.
ठीक. और अब तो तेरे काफी कांटेक्ट बन गए हैं. चांस होगा तो तुझे मिल ही जाएगा. ढूंढ ही लेगा तो.
हाँ देखते हैं.
साई दत्तू इज सेइंग पाकिस्तान क्रिकेट टीम आल्सो डूइंग मिलिट्री ट्रेनिंग.
I mean, obviously there would be a difference how a Chinese would, do go about their military
अरे
training,
अरे
and
अरे यार, इसमें मत
India
घुस.
and Pakistan would
ठीक
do.
है यार, इसमें मत घुस. ओके. ठीक है. ठीक है,
तो
चलो.
मतलब तू you should have moved on ना. तू उस चीज को भी
नहीं,
you started.
आई सेड इट एज अ जोक. आई डिडंट नो कि तेरा इतना सीरियस आएगा. पाकिस्तान क्रिकेट
चल
टीम
तो
भी दैट वाज लाइक सपोज टू बी अ जोक,
let's
बट
move
ठीक है.
on. Let's move on to the next event.
हाँ, ठीक है. बाय द वे, आई जस्ट से कि स्वप्निल वर्सेस अखिल पोल हैज गॉन टुवर्ड्स अखिल 58%. So yeah, people also going by the experience and the finals prowess rather than the qualification में slightly better performances.
Yep.
तो मैं एंड कर रहा हूँ पोल. एंड या ठीक है. 25 मीटर रैपिड फायर. आर्ग्यूबली आर वीकेस्ट इवेंट. बोलो.
Arguably, yes.
या आर्ग्यूबली, आई completely arguably. It was
I would
made
say second weakest.
after the pistol moment, I'm guessing.
Yeah, yeah,
ठीक है, बोलो. या मैं चालू करूँ?
yeah. इसमें भी I think it's pretty clear. I mean, numbers are there to see, colors are there to see. Anish
हाँ, मतलब अनीश के सबसे पहले वो
stands
T1 T2 T3 T4 के कलर एकदम स्ट्राइक आउट, राइट.
right. Still needs to be deciphered what exactly happened with him in Asian Games. There was no news around it. Nothing came out. What exactly went wrong? तो उसके अलावा वो एक ब्लिप है, बट अदर देन आई डोंट सी एनीथिंग. एंड राइट नाउ ऑब्वियसली ही इज इन एपिक फॉर्म. इजिप्ट वर्ल्ड कप में ठीक है, 579 अगेन, बट आउटसाइड ऑफ दैट back to back 580 plus
नहीं बट 580
recently.
प्लस, बट आई वुड जैसे 580 प्लस इज अ बिट ऑफ अ लो बार राइट. रैपिड
It
फायर
is.
में, रैपिड फायर में यू नीड लाइक 585 प्लस, तो उस हिसाब से यू हैव अ लॉट ऑफ 581s एज वेल. मेडल्स हैं
Yeah,
इसलिए वो
yeah,
दिखता इतना वीक लगता नहीं है, जैसे वर्ल्ड कप
yeah.
फाइनल
But
में. हाँ
588 प्लस भी तो 6 स्कोर दिख रहे हैं ना.
डोमेस्टिक
पांच.
में पॉइंट वही डोमेस्टिक में दिख रहे हैं, इंटरनेशनल में देख, इंटरनेशनल में एक,
एशियन चैंपियनशिप है
हाँ एक
588.
588 है, 588 के बाद सीधा 581 आ जाता है.
Hmm.
And you know, and that 581, because they are bronze medals, they don't look that bad. But
Yeah,
581 is not gonna get you to an Olympic final. I don't see
yeah,
it
yeah,
happening.
yeah. So
So,
from Paris perspective, yes, he still needs to work on his consistency, but domestically, I think he's a clear cut favorite right now.
हाँ domestic में तो just
There
look at
is
the
no
average.
competition as such for him.
Yeah, I mean just look at the average. 586 versus 581 का average है सीधा domestic
Yeah,
average. मतलब he's
yeah,
miles ahead. We even have like domestic averages of 562. But ठीक है, वो 562 में there's a 517 भावेश शेखावत का. So I guess I don't know.
yeah.
That
And
doesn't.
that in itself tells the story that there is no competition for him, because there was a point where actually Vijay Veer was a better shooter than Anish, and he was pretty consistent. Wasn't shooting very high, but was usually hovering around the finals top 10 and stuff. 583s, 584, 585, which the scores are not visible here. But yeah, his level has gone down. In the last 2 years, that is
Mm.
for sure.
हाँ but ठीक है, I would say it's still competitive. I mean it's I don't agree with that fact कि Anish is much better than Vijay Veer right now. दोनों ही थोड़े inconsistent है. And वो
I
yeah, if
mean,
you
it's pretty clear, right? The
in domestic,
numbers and the medals. Yeah,
in domestic
yeah.
yes, but not in international, right?
I mean, you would talk holistically, right? मैं
So
overall level की बात कर
हाँ
रहा हूँ ना.
नहीं तो मैं तो I will counter that with saying कि domestic में उसने शूट ही नहीं किया. He didn't shoot in T1 T2 T3 T4. एक जो नेशनल
He
गेम्स में शूट,
did in national games and national championship.
583 है, 583 ठीक है. It doesn't match up to the 588 and 589s that Anish has gone in those last four trials, but it is mainly those four trials which put Anish ahead of Vijay Veer. वो चार ट्रायल तुम हटा दो तो performance is reasonably similar दोनों का.
So
But
he
yeah,
he
obviously
he
the
did
four
score
trials matter.
577 in Asian championship.
579 Egypt World Cup में अनीश का है, 575 World Championship में था. There are a lot of there, right? I don't think so.
Okay, okay.
578 नेशनल
Yeah,
चैंपियनशिप में है
like
अनीश
go
का
on.
भी.
What is your overall viewpoint?
या ओवरऑल व्यू पॉइंट तो यही है कि इवेंचुअली ठीक है, वी आर डिस्कसिंग कि आउट ऑफ अनीश एंड विजय वीर हु इज बेटर. And that kind of shows कि okay, the two shooters who are sort of named shooters in this are those two, Anish and Vijay Veer. Okay.
Yeah,
उसके अलावा internationally, Adarsh Singh is the one who shot most internationally. If you just look at the count, Ankur Goyal has 3 events, Bhavesh Shekhawat has 3 events international. Adarsh Singh has been at, let's say, the number 3 throughout the Olympic cycle, but his recent performance has completely dropped off. मतलब completely मतलब off the chart कि
yeah.
मतलब फाइव
Not
फाइव
even touching 580.
फाइव हाँ 575 barely ब्रेक हो रहा है यार, कितने सारे 560s है. And even his national rank you can see 16th. The reason he is still there is because he is the third highest Indian shooter on the Olympic rankings, and that is mainly because he just shot a lot. So if you see the QROG rank, Vijay Veer 10th, Anish 17th. उसके बाद you have Adarsh at 38, but you have Adarsh at 38 because he shot 7 events. दूसरों ने शूट ही तीन तीन किया तो उसको कैसे ओवरटेक करेंगे unless you have like a great performance. So he's made it to the trials based on just competing a lot internationally, not necessarily competing well.
Yeah, yeah. And
तो
likewise for Ankur and Bhavesh also.
हाँ अंकुर एंड भावेश या मतलब nothing impressive at all.
भावेश का थोड़ा सा बस ये है that he does have a couple of 583,
583
584,
584s.
so he might pose challenge to I don't know, Vijay Veer, I would say, because
And
Vijay Veer himself hasn't been shooting well.
एंड भावेश का,
That's
डू
about
यू
it.
नो वो बीच में थोड़ा बहुत कंट्रोवर्सी भी हुआ था आई थिंक.
हाँ, वो क्या था वो
मतलब इट हैज समथिंग टू डू
harassment
विद,
और
something to do with discipline or harass. I think it was something to do with maybe sexual harassment or something. I'm not sure,
Mhm.
but some disciplinary issue or some behavior issue, जिसकी वजह से there was like कि maybe he's gonna be removed, and but I guess it got sorted out. My guess is
Yeah.
कि whatever the allegations were, he's been
Mhm.
completely cleared of everything, because of which he's back. But
Okay. Okay.
so you can always say कि, when those things are going on, maybe the performance drops and maybe he now comes up.
Mhm.
And ठीक है, there is that one 583 in T3, but nothing else that is too
Yeah. Yeah.
impressive. But yeah, top two here is again based on performances, whether domestic or international. It's clear.
Yeah. But
Weber is clearly,
Vijay, we definitely needs to step up if
yeah,
he's
basically
looking
get
into
a
that.
get the groove back a little bit. There's a little too many 570s here. 577, 579, 579. There's a little bit too much of that. But yeah, but honestly, I also would like to see Anish replicate these domestic scores in international. यार international में
Mm.
बिल्कुल भी replication नहीं है. Not कि थोड़ा बहुत नहीं है, बिल्कुल भी नहीं है.
And historically, also Anish has had this tendency to
हाँ वो
score exceptionally well in domestic.
हम्म
मतलब वो
इंटरनेशनल में मतलब
टोक्यो से
एक दिन अच्छा
टोक्यो
करता
से
है और एक दिन बुरा हो जाता है. वो बहुत हुआ है
हाँ,
उसका.
हाँ, मतलब वो टोक्यो से पहले भी whenever he used to shoot in domestic trials, he used to score better than world records for fun.
हम्म,
I remember. So yeah, he's got that tendency. Domestic में he shoots pretty well, but yeah, international is where we need to look at.
और उसका ये भी मतलब 580 भी होगा तो you'll often see like 580 में there'll be like one 295 and one 285. It won't be like
हाँ,
दो 290s.
yeah, inconsistent है थोड़ा दोनों दिन में.
ठीक है, चलो देखते हैं. Anyways, we have already talked. It's one of our weakest events. Hopefully, if something can happen in this, great. Anish के those चार trial scores definitely give you some hope. But let's see.
Yeah,
आगे बढ़े, इसमें भी पोल की तो जरूरत है नहीं. आगे बढ़ते.
नहीं है चलो. 25-meter pistol.
वुमेन.
You start.
Okay. So now, okay, first of all, we have to start. This is actually the only event where we have had shooters, make in two trials. So Manu, Didam, and Isha, all three of them have made the trials for 25-meter pistol, and we'll do 10-meter also. So they have also made the trials for 10-meter pistol. So एक तो first of all वो highlight point है. उसके अलावा just looking at the event, those three again are the favorites here. If you look at सिमरनप्रीत and अबिंदिया, मतलब सिमरनप्रीत का तो वही इंटरनेशनल में दो इवेंट है. Nothing that special. Abindya has shot a little bit, but scores are not there. No medals. The only medal, anyways, ज़्यादा medal है नहीं इसमें. It's like Manu, Ridham, Misha, all three have got like one medal in the cycle. And if you even look at the
Kapil, Ishaka, if you'll see the Asian Games medal for her skews her perspective
हाँ
a little bit.
हाँ, so I was coming
She's
there
not.
only. हाँ, I was coming there only कि even if you look at domestic, ईशा का कुछ नहीं है. 569, 586, and even the remaining scores are mainly what 581, 582. एक वो 586 है.
Yeah.
And
Even the 581s and 582s are not at par.
not enough, not enough. Again, इसमें भी you need like 585 at least. उसके पहले नहीं होता
Bare
है कुछ.
minimum. Yes.
हाँ, so you can, okay, what you are saying is कि मैंने वो 3 versus 2 किया. You can saying कि further Manu Didam versus ईशा कर दो कि Manu Didam have done much better. And domestic में तो by the way clearly दिखता है, if you look at those first four, it's always like gold silver gold silver. So
Mm.
T1 T2 में Rhythm got both golds, Manu got both silvers. NSC में Manu has a gold. National Games में Rhythm came fourth. ईशा तो domestic compete की ही नहीं है.
Just
Uh,
that because अगर सिर्फ trials की बात करें, so obviously the qualification scores are going to count,
hmm,
and that is where there is slightly level of difference in terms of level at where Manu and Rhythm are and where Isha is. I don't think either Manu or Rhythm are going to leave this particular event because they have tendency to score 590 plus when they prepare well, especially
hmm,
Manu.
yeah. Um,
So that ways it might work in their favor. Isha might be a better final shooter for all we know, but yeah, qualification में I think थोड़ा सा challenging.
एंड मनु का तो मतलब अगर डोमेस्टिक में तू बस एवरेज ही देख, 587 इज वे अहेड ऑफ एवरीबडी एल्स. ठीक है, तीन चार इवेंट ही हैं, इट इज नॉट टू मच. बट
Hmm.
मतलब एवरेज में तो कंपैरिजन है नहीं. मनु, या मनु ऑन qualification, she definitely should make it. It will be a bit of a surprise if she doesn't. Her
Yeah.
problem right from even pre Tokyo in this event has always been the finals. मतलब,
In 25.
in this event, I said nicely in 25 meters in this event has always been the finals. And by the way, this is also one of those events where you have to say कि technically there is a clear difference between finals and the qualification, because qualification has a precision stage and a rapid stage, whereas finals has only a rapid stage, and then even that rapid stage is hit or miss. So this, and in fact even the previous one to 25-meter rapid fire हमने किया था, those are the two events where skill wise also there is a big difference between qualification and finals, not
Yeah.
just pressure wise or surrounding wise or atmosphere wise or whatever. So Isha, is there Simranpreet? I think we are maybe ignoring a little bit. She is not short too much, but scores थोड़े बहुत है. There is like एक 586 है, एक 584 है, एक 583 है. A couple of silvers in national games and national championships. So she's
Yeah.
not short internationally, because of which there is that problem. But she can challenge for sure.
She can, yeah,
Hmm.
she can challenge. Can't deny that.
Hmm.
But yeah, if she makes it to Paris, yeah, it'll be obviously worry.
ठीक है मतलब ओके वही वही वाली बात आ जाती है कि इट्स लाइक यू डोंट नो हाउ द यंग प्लेयर विल डू बट या
Yeah.
for me, honestly, 25-meter, when you consider both the qualification and the finals, I think my favorite shooter is probably Rhythm here, because Manuka, I have doubts about the final. If she can come with a performance in the final, great. But overall, I think Rhythm might be my favorite here out of the five shooters, considering both qualification and final from a Paris perspective, not saying from a trial perspective. Rhythm का issue हमेशा वो रहा है कि she gets nervous in the finals. ये बहुत बार हुआ. She has a
And
lot
yet,
of,
yet you want her
but
in
that's the
medals.
competition level. That's what I'm saying. Competition level वही है मेरे पास. I'm not saying कि 10 मीटर में ही, but ठीक है 10 मीटर में भी वही होगा. But that's the competition. She does have a few medals at the same time. ऐसा नहीं है कि कुछ नहीं है. But 10 मीटर में especially वो थोड़ा हुआ है. I think even,
I think it has happened more than once.
but 10 मीटर में हुआ है. मतलब 50 में 25 में तो यार you see ना, right? कोई fourth place भी नहीं है. There is this one
हाँ,
bronze medal.
हुआ होगा मतलब मेरे को ओवरऑल लेवल पे ये याद है कि हाँ इट हैज हैपेंड मोर देन वंस दैट शी हैज बिकम अ लिटिल नर्वस.
Towards
अच्छा,
the end.
towards the end and she was doing pretty well in the final, but like somehow it turned around and sort of gave up. Not
हाँ,
gave up, but it got nervous and thoda sa under pressure.
I think we'll see those fourth places in the next one. I think एक दो बार कोटा इवेंट में भी कोटा भी हुआ था कि she was very close to कोटा and then had a like 1 on 5 or maybe even a 0 on 5 and lost the quota. ऐसा भी एक आधी बार हो चुका है. So that is there. But हाँ, again you want to do a poll, मतलब top two तो इस event में clearly मनु and रिदम लग रहे हैं, though the others can compete. ऐसा नहीं है कि they can't compete.
Mhm. Yeah, it's okay. I mean,
हाँ
poll
जरूरत नहीं है,
करना भी तो क्या करेगा.
वही
ठीक है.
जरूरत नहीं है.
Pretty clear. Manu and Rhythm are favorites and should also make it. So, yeah.
ईशा का वो there are a couple of 586s, but yeah, nothing more than that. I guess you can say T4 में 586s, so maybe form is okay.
Yeah. Yep.
चले आगे बढ़े.
ठीक है. Yes.
So next is 10 meter. अच्छा 10 meter में before starting एक just we'll say कि because that quota event happened only a couple of days ago, they have not officially announced the trial list. So that's why we have 6 names here. We took the ones which we think should make it. According to me, Sanyam will be the one who will not make it from here, based on what I've seen, based on my reading of the rules and everything.
Kapil. Kapil.
Hmm.
संयम.
तेरा है ना, ये मुझे करवाना पड़ेगा शिफ्ट वाला अगली बार. ठीक है
मतलब
संयम.
इट्स प्रीटी ऑब्वियस. संयम नाम होता है. सैन्यम क्या होता है मतलब
भैया
इट्स.
मैंने संयम भी नहीं सुना कभी. दैट्स व्हाट आई विल से.
कम ऑन.
ठीक है चलो, दिस इज द वन जोक. नाउ यू कीप करेक्टिंग मी ऑन द नेम्स. ओके बट
I'll keep on correcting you. You know,
टिल द एंड ऑफ टाइम.
antim antim.
वो अंतिम
Uh,
पे आ गया मैं. वो आ गया मैं अंतिम पे. हम्म,
all right. Okay, let's
हाँ
move on.
हाँ ठीक है चल. हाँ तो एनीवे, सो या आई
By
वाज
the
सेइंग.
way, just before we move on, finally you have the question that you waited all this while, and you were very much expecting that aega. It's only taken 1 hour and 40 minutes, to have that question, which you thought a lot of people would be asking us. You want to read it and address it?
सौरभ चौधरी का क्या चल रहा है, राइट? आना ही है वो ये आता ही है, बट ठीक है.
तूने बोला था भर भर के आएंगे.
हाँ ठीक है, बट अपन ने शुरू में ही बोल दिया राइट कि हम ये 5 के करने, बट ठीक है, इट्स फाइन, व्हाटएवर. या ठीक है. एंड ओके, सौरभ चौधरी का वी नो कि डिडंट हैपन. एनीवे, सो हाँ, तो आई वाज सेइंग कि इन 6 में से वी हैव संयम का नाम हियर, बट संयम विल प्रोबेबली नॉट बी अ पार्ट ऑफ द ट्रायल, इवन दो all three of them shot 578 in the final qualifier. Surabhi ka 578 actually replaces an older 570, and Sanyam ka 578 replaces an older 578 only. So because of that, Surabhi will move up in the domestic rankings, even though this sheet shows that Surabhi is 6th and Sanyam is 5th. I think the likely scenario is that Surabhi will be the 5th one along with Isha, Palak, Rhythm and Manu. But we are not sure, that's why we just put all 6 of them here. And yeah, uske alawa performance wise, you want to start off? I think average देखो just domestic में sub is so close.
Yeah,
Domestic में especially.
there's nothing to talk about, honestly.
कहीं पे भी कुछ भी हो सकता है, right? I think, I guess medal wise you can say कि maybe Palak comes out a little bit. You have a couple of golds in domestic, you have a gold in Asian Games.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
recently एक
And I
bronze
think
medal लाया.
from matlab, we only have two sample points, but definitely she's not the one to come under pressure. The way she shot at Asian Games and the way she shot couple of days back, right? And form अच्छी है. इसमें कितना था वर्ल्ड क्वालिफायर में क्वालिफाइंग
578.
स्कोर?
578 पे कट ऑफ था. 578
ठीक
पे
है,
सुरभि
which is
मिस्ड आउट ना. ये पलक और
yeah,
संयम
yeah, I
पहुंच गए हैं,
remember
सुरभि
now.
मिस्ड
Yes.
आउट.
Yes, but she has a 585 in T4, 578 again in T3 with a gold. So coming off in good form, cannot definitely discount her. Like we had almost forgotten her after Asian Games, right? There was nothing to show. But yeah, she's definitely back in the mix. So देखना होगा. I would say Manu, especially because she's back training under Jaspal.
जसपाल.
So yeah, we definitely can expect some surprise from here. She is not the same shooter she was before Tokyo in 10 meter. That is for sure. Mainly abhi uska 25 mein she's doing pretty well, but not that great in 10 meter. Hasn't even touched 580 in over last 2 years, I would say.
हाँ नहीं हुआ है.
570, yeah. हाई 578s भी बहुत रेयर है ना. 578 579 just twice in totality,
Yeah, a lot of 570, couple of 570, 571s, lot of
which
574, 575, 576.
which doesn't make the cut because again women's air pistol is also one event where collectively the global level has risen in last 2 years, and it won't be a surprise if the cutoff again goes 580 or above also.
हाँ मतलब वो उसके आसपास ही रहता है. 580 is like the safe cutoff. And yeah, by the way, just because you're saying she's not the same shooter, I'll just point out, मतलब Manu Bakar in post Tokyo, she has got this one bronze medal in the recent Spain World Cup in 10 meter. If you look at the other medal category, there are 12 golds and 2 silvers pre 2021. That includes mixed as well, where Saurabh Chaudhary was there, so a lot of mixed as well. But individual भी है काफी. So there are 4 golds and 1 silver in individual also. उसमें से
Yeah,
4
and
में से
the reason for that individual is because back then Manu, where Manu's level was, she used to qualify the cutoffs. The world has moved on, but Manu's level has pretty much remained the same. And whenever she used to qualify for the
she used to
finals,
do very well.
she's a much better finals shooter in 10-meter air pistol.
And even qualification cutoff में भी she, it was not like she always used to qualify. वो मतलब हमेशा
Like whenever.
बॉर्डर लाइन रहता, हाँ बॉर्डर लाइन रहता था. और मैंने देखा था जो 4 गोल्ड है ना प्रीवियस, उसमें से भी लाइक 2 एशियन है एंड देन 2 वर्ल्ड कप है. वो 2 वर्ल्ड कप
दो
में से,
वर्ल्ड कप में भी एक ग्वाडलाहारा,
हाँ वही बोल रहा था मैं कि 2
कोई भी
वर्ल्ड कप
नहीं
में
गया
भी
था
एक
वहाँ पे.
ग्वाडेलारा है. हाँ सो राइट. But yeah, still huge difference between earlier and now. And Isha का इफ वी से ईशा का मतलब डोमेस्टिक तो है ही नहीं. शी अगेन वही वाली बात है, शी गॉट द कोटा आई गेस इन एशियन चैंपियनशिप 24, उसके बाद शी स्किप्ड ऑल द ट्रायल्स.
Yeah.
एंड सो या इट्स अ लिटिल डिफिकल्ट टू जज कि उसका रीसेंट फॉर्म क्या चल रहा है, बिकॉज शी
Yeah, but
हैज.
I think because she has the maximum number of 577 plus scores, so that bit does give me confidence. And she's got a silver from Asian Games, where again she shot a 579 and then won a silver. So that thing is maybe slightly in favor of Isha. And तभी मेरे को लग रहा है maybe Isha does qualify from 10 meter air pistol rather than 25.
या चांसेस तो डेफिनेटली 10 मीटर में ज़्यादा है उसके, नो डाउट ऑन दैट. आई लाइक रिदम ऑल्सो, जैसे मैंने पहले भी बोला था. रिदम हैज शी हैज अ कपल ऑफ ब्रॉन्जेस इन इंडिविजुअल. Mixed maybe she has like 3 medals, gold and 2 silver. So what we were saying कि she's missed it fine, but she's got 5 medals also. If you look at the just the number of international medals, she is number of medals में she has like 5 medals. And उसके next is actually Isha with 4 international
Yeah.
mixed गिन के. So
इसमें भी rhythm is the one who has the highest ceiling, I'd say.
हाँ, रिदम का वो एक ही प्रॉब्लम है
584,
कि
581.
थोड़ी नर्वस हो जाती है. एंड I guess if we are saying ki who's the one who might shoot both events, it might actually be Rhythm. That's
Hmm.
the best
Yeah,
guess, right? Because we are looking at Isha mainly in 10 and maybe Manu in 25.
yeah, but don't be surprised if you see Manu again in both the events.
हाँ, हो तो obviously possible तो है ही. वो तो ईशा भी 25 में आ ही सकती है, ऐसा नहीं है कि it's not possible. And yeah, and then there's this new one, there's this Palak who's like whenever she comes she's like wowzers, but she then disappears. And Surbhi Rao तो ठीक है, Surbhi.
Interesting, yeah. I mean, I didn't think that 10-meter air pistol would be interesting. I mean, this does sound to be interesting because there are four contenders. Even Surbi, if you're
Surbhi is
saying she
also
is
there,
making it to
हाँ.
the trials,
Yeah,
तो
she's not
कोई भी हो
out.
सकता है ऐसा नहीं है.
इसमें
It's
इसमें
pretty
प्रॉब्लम
uncertain.
इसमें प्रॉब्लम वही है ना कि घूम फिर के इवन द हाईएस्ट स्कोर्स आर लाइक 578 579, व्हिच इज मे बी नॉट गुड इनफ. तो वो थोड़ा एक्साइटमेंट लेवल कम कर देता है कि इट्स लाइक
Yeah,
इट इज वेरी क्लोज, बट द रीजन इट्स सॉर्ट ऑफ क्लोज इज कि इट्स वन ऑफ आवर वीकेस्ट इवेंट्स एज यू सेड.
yeah, yeah,
तो वो एक थोड़ा फैक्टर आ जाता है उसमें कि ठीक है,
yeah,
जो भी जाएगा, कैन दे एक्चुअली डू समथिंग इन पेरिस, वी डोंट नो.
yeah. Gotham, for me, most likely, yes, she is going to be a double starter. For Kapil, yeah, like he's
आई एम
slightly
मोर
biased
टुवर्ड्स
towards
रिदम.
Rhythm.
या मे बी.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll see.
एंड या बाय द वे,
इसमें पोल करते हैं कपिल should be fun.
हाँ इसमें पोल करते हैं. बोलो, हु डू यू वांट टू सी, राइट?
Who do you think makes it actually?
हु डू यू थिंक मेक्स इट करना है इस
Otherwise,
बार?
people will have their own favorites. No?
ओके चलो वो.
मन्नू का तो उसमें जाएगा ही नहीं बिल्कुल भी. Who do you want to see?
Manu does get a little
Nobody
bit
is
too much
going to
criticism.
vote for her.
She does get more than a share of criticism,
Yeah.
that's for sure. So I think Sudhbi को निकाल दूंगा और क्या, because I have four only. Or
Hmm.
should I put Palak slash Sudhbi?
No,
नहीं
no. Put all five separately.
नहीं, 5 सेपरेट नहीं, मेरे पास 4 ही ऑप्शन है पोल में.
हाँ तो फिर ठीक है फिर पलक सुर भी स्लैश कर दे.
स्लैश करूँ कि सिर्फ अच्छा स्लैश करना है, चलो स्लैश कर देता हूँ. पलक स्लैश
Wasn't what about mixed team events? I mean, I think they are just added on bonus here. Can't discuss anything about those as such, right? I think whosoever comes out of these events, they'll form good mixed doubles teams, mixed event team for both. Obviously, rifle में तो करेंगे ही करेंगे, but yeah, we'll have a decent mixed team in
टीम
pistol as
एनीवेज.
well.
हाँ,
Yeah, yeah,
या आई मीन द ओनली थिंग, ठीक है, either of
yeah,
them is fine, yeah. But okay,
yeah.
let's see क्या. One thing we will say
Kapil
is,
today, Kapil has today only sort of Kapil, not Kapil, I should say, but Kapil's sister Kavita.
hmm,
She's sort of pushed me in taking this 10-meter pistol mixed event tickets. I didn't have that. I didn't intend to even buy those because I didn't have a much hope there. But yeah, finally got those tickets as well today. So yeah, let's see.
yeah, I don't know how you can take that kind of risk, huh? Given that you are gonna be in Chateau on that day, and it's like it's a cheap ticket. It's not the costliest ticket out there. So
But
given that
it's
you're going to
just
be in
that it'll
chaperone
be
mode,
bronze playoff and gold and silver playoff, right?
हाँ,
I don't see a lot of fun there.
but I'm like, imagine if they reach, okay, whether to the gold medal match or to the bronze medal match, you are there in Chateau. It's not the costliest ticket, and you don't have
That
it.
was a thought. Yeah.
हाँ, if you
That was a
don't have
thought
it,
कि वो
तब
FOMO हो जाता मेजर.
हाँ, तो ठीक है, मतलब फॉर मी इट वाज अ नो ब्रेनर की टिकट तो लेनी है. आगे देखते हैं. हाँ, ठीक है. एंड या आई थिंक वी कैन मूव अहेड, राइट.
Yeah.
वी हैव कवर्ड इट. चलो फिर लास्ट इवेंट बचा है अपना 10 मीटर पिस्टल मैन.
Yeah.
बोलो, पूछा
Good
लो
to
जो.
forget China, Vasant. Yeah. So for 10-meter air pistol, yeah, I think I did see the numbers. For me, it's pretty clear that Sarabjot and Varun are two clear favorites, as well as who should make it. They are in a different tier. Then it's Arjun, but yeah, Naveen and Ravinder. I would sincerely hope they, considering they have almost nothing to show in terms of international experience, and whatever it is, it's not that great also. Naveen का ठीक है. I remember World Championship 22 में he was very close to qualifying, or maybe might have qualified also. I can't recall. Shiva
582 था.
Nehwal और Naveen का, हाँ,
I think he missed out on the final, but yeah, not
missed
sure.
out, हाँ. But Shiva made it. ऐसा कुछ हुआ था, if I'm not wrong.
By the way,
uh,
हाँ बोल.
yeah, but yeah, like, definitely think Naveen and Ravinder shouldn't be there, especially Ravinder. He's got a couple of chances, and we see the scores that are there in international. Arjun again uh, is a good shooter going by the scores, but then again, up and down, up and down. So yeah, wouldn't venture there as well. But yeah, Sarabjot and Varun are the two shooters who have the medals, who have the scores, who have got the experience as well. So yeah, hopefully they both of them will make it.
Yeah, so I'll just add कि first thing is, this is actually probably the event where quite a few of the known names may be missed out. You had a Shiva Narwal, you had a Sagar Dangi, एक कोई एक केदार उगरवे था, बीच बीच में आया, बीच में थोड़ा दिखा है.
मतलब वो
There was an Ujjwal Malik.
ट्रैक्शन ही इतना ज्यादा था ना कि मतलब वो इतना ज्यादा चेंज हो रहे थे बार बार.
So there was like an Ujjwal Malik. No, but why, if you compare like the international experience of those guys with a Naveen or a Ravinder Singh, it's much higher. जैसे नवीन ने मतलब वर्ल्ड चैंपियनशिप 22 के बाद he has not competed internationally at all.
Yeah,
He had like
exactly.
one event before that, तो जिसकी वजह से he is in the trial. वो जो which we are discussing, there should be a minimum two. So there was like another one in an old 2022 का event में where he's made his minimum two. Ravinder is another one जो बस end में sort of competing in Egypt World Cup and Spain World Cup, he got us two events in. So international experience at least twice. These are two guys we haven't really seen in the past. Naveen in the past couple of years, and Ravinder pretty much ever. But they have just about sneaked in ahead of the likes of Shiva Narwal, Ujjwal Malik, Sagar Dangi, etc. चार पांच नाम है वहाँ पे.
Also because their own level gone was
एग्जैक्टली. हाँ.
had gone down.
तो वो तो वही है. उन लोग का लेवल गिरा इन लोग जैसे. इफ यू लुक एट द स्कोर्स, मतलब रविंदर हैज लाइक अ 1586, नवीन हैज 581, 582,
See,
583.
वही हुआ ना अब रविंदर के केस में. You see those 581 scores in national championship T1 T2, which is essentially 1 month of events.
हम्म.
वो one he was in that good patch of form, और उसी में ही वो क्लियर कर गया the selection criteria, which
या
is a
मतलब
little worry.
he really just barely sneaked in, right?
Exactly.
Matlab he hasn't even competed in T3 T4, because I think had he competed in T3 T4 वो शायद T1 का ही प्रोटेक्ट कर, या मे बी NSC का प्रोटेक्ट कर रहा होगा, but T1 also he has 586. So in order to protect the score, he didn't compete, and he still finished like national rank of 5. So he's
Yeah.
just about sneaked in. Or
Yeah,
also,
T and T3 T4 I think happened after the Egypt and Spain World Cup. No?
एग्जैक्टली. सो आई डोंट नो, मे बी बाद में हुआ या पहले हुआ. एक्चुअली वो काफी साइमल्टेनियस हुआ है. देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ आई सॉ शूटर्स कि Egypt World Cup especially, it's like if you have not shot T3 T4 then maybe you have shot Egypt World Cup. They were pretty close to each other as well. I don't know पहले कौन सा हुआ था, but उसके वजह से भी you'll find a lot of people missing from T3 T4 who have shot in Egypt and Spain. वो fatigue factor जो तू बोल रहा था पहले,
Yeah.
ठीक है, but yeah, the both of them have sort of just sneaked in, and also it's like in a way they are directly making up the numbers because जो अपन ने पहले बोला था, in order to get there you need to be either top 3 domestic or top 3 international. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and Naveen and Ravinder are neither. They are both fourth, fifth, and even internationally, I don't think they are fourth, fifth. क्योंकि internationally fourth जैसे शिवा नरवाल था and fifth सागर दंगी था, and domestic में they dropped to like eighth, ninth or whatever. So Naveen and Ravinder have sort of made up the numbers because there was also criteria that we will have at least minimum of 5 shooters in the trials.
Yeah.
But otherwise they don't even make that criteria. But ठीक है, so we'll see if they, you never know, वो हमेशा रहता ही है कि कुछ decent, but you would obviously not back them too much to get through. And then it comes down to the top 3 उसमें भी जैसे सरबजोत का we had discussed a little bit also कि recent performances have gone down. If you look at his Egypt World Cup, मतलब Egypt में तो चलो 581 था, इंडिया में 585 है, अजरबैजान में 589 है. I don't know what his performance was in trials at that time, but उसके बाद से it's more like 581s, and domestic में
Yeah.
there's been a
Apple is
578 also.
lowest is also 578. Huh?
There's gone a 578 also,
No,
579
but I'm
also.
saying his lowest is 578 only.
अच्छा, you're saying
Okay.
only. Okay, ठीक है,
So
valid
it's
point.
it's not like his majority are obviously 580 plus,
Hmm.
and I think recent form देखेगा उसमें भी ठीक है. There is one 578, 583 in T4. He also went in one of the European international events where I did check. He scored 582 there. So yeah, he's hovering around that 582 584 wala bracket, you can say.
नहीं, 582 तक जाता है तो ठीक है, एटलीस्ट अपने सामने जो है there's like one 583.
But even 582 is borderline only, no?
नहीं
तो भी
होता है
अच्छा.
फाइव, हाँ, मेन में 582 मुश्किल है, मतलब पिस्टल इज एक्चुअली वन थिंग. आई थिंक 10 मीटर पिस्टल जब मेन स्कोर अ लिटिल बिट हायर देन द वुमेन बिकॉज इट काइंड नीड्स सम अपर बॉडी स्ट्रेंथ. 25 मीटर में इवेंट ही डिफरेंट है, तो यू कांट रियली कंपेयर स्कोर्स. वो रैपिड फायर वर्सेस 10 मीटर है, मतलब रैपिड फायर वर्सेस मतलब प्रिसिशन एंड रैपिड वाला फंडा है. बट 10 मीटर में द इवेंट्स आर कंपेरेबल, एंड पिस्टल जो व्हाट आई हैव हर्ड इज पिस्टल नीड्स अपर बॉडी स्ट्रेंथ एज कंपेयर टू राइफल. So जिसकी वजह से men shoot a little bit higher than women. So women में you can expect a qualification at 580, but men में you need like 580 to 583 to get there. And yeah, on
ये वरुण का एशियन चैंपियनशिप में गोल्ड था क्या 586 के साथ?
I don't think
ये
होना चाहिए क्या?
डबल डिजिट्स ड्रीम सेइंग
Okay, maybe.
प्रकाश.
हाँ, okay, yeah, I think अर्जुन का भी शायद सिल्वर था. I think I missed that.
अर्जुन का सिल्वर था 579 पे.
हाँ, because they got the quota there ना, quota वहीं पे मिला था. चलो डाल देते हैं. Yeah, I guess I might have missed that. Whatever, ठीक है, चलो डालने की क्या जरूरत है. But yeah, I might have missed that. एशियन चैंपियनशिप 20 हाँ कहीं तो था. ठीक है, I don't know how I missed it. क्या हुआ पता नहीं. But yeah, so and उसके अलावा अर्जुन का I was saying, अर्जुन का if you look at the scores में यार कुछ नहीं है. मतलब his national ranking has dropped as below as 27th. मतलब 572, 574, 576, 579. तो इवन अर्जुन चीमा में स्कोर वाइज कुछ है नहीं. इवन एशियन चैंपियनशिप में ही गॉट दैट सिल्वर में भी है. मैं चेक ही कर लूँ क्या, इफ यू आई जस्ट चेक. बट या इफ ही गॉट दैट सिल्वर इन एशियन चैंपियनशिप, इट्स ऑन अ स्कोर ऑफ 579, व्हिच इज
Yeah.
नॉट दैट इम्प्रेसिव.
Yeah, it is not in वही है. काफी अप एंड डाउन है अर्जुन का भी. So not one of those shooters who you feel confident about. Forget about other events ना. Latest form देख ले T3 T4 में 572 574.
तो मतलब वही, तो व्हिच वी आई गेस दैट इज व्हाट यू स्टार्टेड विद, कि इवेंचुअली इफ वी आर होपिंग फ्रॉम सरबजोत एंड अर्जुन ओनली. इवन दो सरबजोत की खुद की नेशनल रैंकिंग 7 पे गिर गई थी, बट ठीक है, That's okay. It's all very close, so it's fine. But Arjun की वो close वाली बात भी नहीं है. It's way below.
Yeah, all in all, I think had Naveen participated in more international events and he had more sort of results to show in international event, maybe we would have spoken about a three-way race here. But as of now, I think it's just Sarabjot and Varun for me.
Hmm. Yeah. इसके अलावा तो I guess और कुछ बोलना है? ये मेरे को
But
दिखा
that
दो.
is it. We have come to an end. I think we had a pretty solid discussion. सारे angles से सारे perspectives से I think we've sort of covered it all. So we'll see क्या होता है.
By the way, 25 meter का पोल आ रहा है. It's very close. Huh?
What is it?
People are not backing Palak or Survi. That's 12%. Isha 31, Manu 31, Rhythm 25.
This was for 10 meter.
Yeah. Who do you think makes it to Paris?
Okay.
So Isha 31, Manu 31, Manu just wait. All are in 25 to 30 range basically.
They just don't seem to agree with you.
क्या कि पलक पहुंचेगी नहीं मेरे
With
से क्या
them, with
अरे 24-30 ठीक है couple of votes here and there
Okay, all right. Any last
but
thoughts?
10 meter I think Palak has a pretty good chance as well. I think Palak is underestimated here at 12%.
Yeah, she's the underdog. Yes.
I had mainly said कि if somebody is competing too I thought rhythms के chances best है but
Mhm.
ठीक है. और
Any
बोलो.
any last thoughts overall?
Yeah, overall just it will start. तुम जाओ देखो तो थोड़ा feedback दो फंडा निकालो कि कहाँ से जा सकते हो.
मैं अगर गया भी तो I think I will only be able to manage the last day. जो second trial का last day होगा, which falls on a Saturday.
हम्म,
एंड उसमें बस चारों के फाइनल्स हैं. मतलब
मतलब
मेरे
10
को
मीटर वाले
क्वालिफिकेशन में ज्यादा इंटरेस्ट है. हाँ,
10 मीटर
10
वाले.
मीटर के चारों के फाइनल्स
अच्छा
हैं.
तो ठीक है मतलब
आई
मोस्ट
वाज मोर
प्रॉब्ली
इंटरेस्टेड इन फॉलोइंग क्वालिफिकेशन का
obviously it's the
कैसे.
qualification which is matters right तो most probably तू जाने नहीं वाला है basically.
या आई डोंट थिंक 50-50 है, बट आई एम मोर इंक्लाइनिंग टुवर्ड्स नॉट गोइंग.
ठीक है. Yeah, उसके अलावा चलो guys, thanks a lot for joining. Fun stream. Some people are telling me कुछ चेस पे भी बोल दो. हाँ भैया चेस चालू ही होने वाला है 12 बज रहा है जाओ जाके कैंडिडेट्स देखो. I need to close this stream also so that I can go and watch.
Yeah, and I
Uh,
need to go and sleep.
hmm.
I can barely open my eyes right now.
तो मेरा तो अभी पूरा रात चलेगा. If only Vidit can beat Nepo today, it opens up everything. Vidit के लिए भी गुकेश के लिए भी. I'll just say that. Vidit Nepo, big game today. Somehow, if Vidit can pull it off with White, it helps. It brings him into the hunt, and Gukesh is then in the lead also. And Gukesh खुद भी जीत गया तो nothing like it. So
Hmm.
Gukesh is been on fire, huh? Completely been on fire. But honestly, just because I started this, I'll just say one line. I started this candidates thinking के maybe मैं 2-3 दिन देखूंगा उसके बाद रात भर होने नहीं वाला है. It's long and it's night and it might get boring or something. But it did not. मेरा पूरा 10 दिन वहीं पे चल रहा है. I don't even feel sleepy in the night. It's been too exciting. That's all I say. I know तेरे को नहीं समझ में आएगा, but it
No,
is
I am
too exciting.
excited for you.
Yeah, it's been very exciting. मतलब कविता पक गई है कि साला कहीं बाहर नहीं जाता है कुछ नहीं करता है क्या सिर्फ कैंडिडेट्स बैठ के देख रहा है.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been far too exciting. That's all I'll say. बहुत मजा आ रहा है. चलो.
Good for you.
All right,
I
guys.
didn't expect those as the last thoughts, but anyways,
नहीं ठीक है. Last thoughts will be किया. Okay, next I guess we'll be at the end of April. Hopefully to do a stream about April. A lot of qualifiers coming in the next few days. By the way,
mm,
अगर दिखा नहीं. I
yeah,
think कल परसों से ही कुछ है, right?
wrestling है ना, wrestling है, rowing है.
रेसलिंग 19 से है. I think so. या रेसलिंग रोइंग बोथ फ्रॉम 19. कल सेलिंग है अगर किसी को फॉलो करना हो तो. एंड फिर शॉटगन का ही है 22nd. There's an archery world cup coming 23rd. Fencing on 27th. And then you obviously have the Thomas Cup on 27th. So a lot of things coming up in the next 10 days.
All right, good fun, guys. Thank you so much for those who joined in. I hope we were able to add some perspective, and you all had fun. Yeah, enjoy your rest of the evening and rest of the night. Like follow अगर कर रहे हो couple की तरह तो go and watch chess.
हम्म,
Yes, keep following the trials as well.
वैसे
Good
मैंने जस्ट
night.
पोल एंड कर दिया, मनु एंडेड जस्ट स्लाइटली अहेड 33% पे। ओके, चलो
All
फिर
right.
किधर गया मेरा
Bye
एंड
bye.
स्क्रीन।
Good
बाय
night.
बाय, बाय बाय गाइस।
Oh man.
हाँ, खत्म हो गया।